Oh, yeah. Look who's back together again, sort of. Ben and Woods, 97.3, The Fan. Great to be here with all of you. Actually, a little nervous to be back. It feels like it's been so long. Good morning. We are Ben and Woods. We are a little bit separated today. We'll explain here in a moment. I'm Woodsy. That's Paul Reindl, executive producer of the program. Good morning to my beloved Paulie.
Hey, how are you?
Oh, hey, I'm fine. How are you?
Sorry,
how are you?
My headphones were off, so I spoke, but I couldn't hear myself.
Oh,
and I go, that sounds weird. Hey, how are you?
I'm really, really average. I'm really average is how I feel right now. And in the center of my screen, in front of the new Bill Howe stand in, stand up,
Step
Ben Higgins.
And repeat. I think they
Step
call
and
them.
repeat.
Yeah,
All right.
It's our Bill House Studios. We know how. It's good to have you back, Woods. If we close our eyes, we could all be together in the same room.
It's such a miracle of modern technology, the way that we're able to do this. And, it's not something I think I would ever want to do full time. But if we had to, it's always good to know, hey, man, if one of us has to be out, that we can do this. I did this from Hawaii, and it worked really well. I mean, I think we had maybe one glitch. So hopefully today everything goes smoothly. But, the way I looked at it was I want to be back with my boys. I want to be back with the tier ones. I don't like laying in bed all day, contrary to what many people, my wife, may believe. I really don't like being out of the game at all. And so I missed you guys, man. Everybody good?
Yeah, I mean, we got my graphic health update at this time yesterday. So why don't you give us your health update this morning on how you're doing?
No, I heard your diarrhea story, and I went back and listened to it, and I mean, I honestly could do like another 30 on it. I need to comment because I felt so bad for you. Now, again, I mentioned when I called in at 8 that I've been on that plane back from Vegas feeling the same way, but for much different reasons, much different reasons. Not because I ate some rich Mexican food or, played too much golf, but like when I thought about you leaning up against the window, just shaking and just like, please God, get me through this. Like, I'll do anything you ask me to do. That bargaining I've done so many times. I've bargained so many times. And you sit here today and you go, okay, now I gotta pay this guy back. I'm here. Like, what can I do, to make the world a better place? I'm telling you, Benny, like, I felt so bad for you. Now, how are you like feeling? Are you close to 100%?
Yes, it's been actually one of the more remarkable turnarounds from one of the worst illnesses I've ever felt to pretty much completely normal. I was hoping to have like an easy day yesterday. It did not work out that way. We did the full show, and then I got to work and ended up having to fill in on the early shows, the 4 and the 5 last night, which was unexpected. Kimberly's okay. She just was on their way into work and witnessed like a horrific traffic accident, possible fatality, which delayed her coming in. So I ended up surprisingly anchoring a couple of shows, but that went well.
Whoa.
And then had to stay up for the Aztecs game last night and do the late highlights. So ended up being a very long day. I didn't get into bed until about 11:30. I think I fell asleep just after midnight. So it was not the day I expected, but I got through it just fine. And I feel actually like I wasn't even sick a couple of days ago, which is pretty shocking.
I mean, I talked to you, you sounded like death, and I sounded like death. And it's so rare, like I said, that we get knocked out at the same time. I don't know that it's ever happened, but
I was going to say rare in the sense I don't think it's ever happened.
No.
Both of you guys sick at the same time.
It's just crazy how it works. So obviously hate the disjointed start to the year. I don't like messing with people's morning routines. I don't.
No, but you gotta take care of yourself too. I mean,
of course,
especially at your guys' age, these illnesses, they can be scary.
It's true. I mean, Paulie's right. At the end of the day, you're 50. Like it is. It's funny, but it's not funny because he's absolutely right. Like I just I don't like messing up people. I got a lot of those, messages, get well soon. My morning routine is jacked. And like, hey, I'm like, I get it. Mine is too. Mine is absolutely jacked as well. I'm not used to being here in the mornings. I told you guys, like, the war zone that it was yesterday morning. But it did give me the chance, silver linings to drive my son Bo to elementary school. And I've never gotten the chance to do that. Now, you guys remember I left early a couple years ago, maybe like 5 years ago, to take him to his very first day of preschool. And that was really special. But this, elementary school is different.
Well, now you can have conversations with him and on your way to school and everything.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. And I get to walk him in and stuff. And, he was really proud and happy. And that made me very happy. But it also gave me the chance to do something that, I never get to do. And that's to air check our competition in the mornings in San Diego. And I spent, probably 30 minutes in the car, a little bit longer on Tuesday, air checking morning radio in San Diego. And I'll just say,
I'm dying to know, are Tier 1s making the right choice by listening to Ben and Woods on 97.3 The Fan?
Listen, I know I'm biased, but you guys need us. You Tier 1s out there, you need us. You need us bad. And I drove around and listened, and I just went, what has happened to the game I love? What has happened to the game I love? It's just different. It's just different. It is 30-second talk breaks, people afraid to give any sort of insight into their personal life or personality, play the record. It is just corny, canned shtick. 30-second, boom, you can tell they recorded it in a machine and hit play so it would time up perfect when Remedy by the Black Crowes starts, and I'm like, oh, cool, another Offspring song at 7:15 in the morning. Like people have just stopped trying out there, and it really makes me sad, and it also makes me happy. It's the weirdest thing because I love the medium. I truly believe there's no better way to connect with a local city than morning radio. And I'm listening to this going, why is everyone so afraid? And it's probably all directed from, corporate somewhere. And I go, I can't do this. I couldn't do it. And I'm listening to some heritage stations going, good Lord, what has happened to the game I love? So I'm happy to be back. It's that thing where I'm looking at this going, you have an opportunity, albeit a really small one, to make a difference in this very short time you've been allotted. And you've basically just chosen to go right to the prep service and read something off the prep service about, some squirrel that's water skiing, and then you go right into a song. It's just like, man, nobody tries. It's just not trying out there. So you need us out there, San Diego, is what I'm here to tell you. And frankly, we need you, because without the strength of the Tier 1 mafia out there, we couldn't do what we do, man. But holy smokes, it's just bad. It's bad out there, dude. And not a lot of people are trying. They're just not trying to do anything different or creative or insightful. So very, very tough. I'm glad that I work morning radio so that I don't have to listen to morning radio is what I'm telling you.
I was just going to say, I really couldn't tell you the last time I was driving around on a weekday in the mornings able to listen to any morning radio.
Yeah.
I had one day back in September when I was moving, and I was listening to you and Ben.
Yeah,
on my drive to the new spot in the morning. But I'm never in the car. I'm always at work, never listening to any other station.
It was tough. But man, it just made me so grateful for the opportunity that we have in front of us every single day with a 4-hour canvas on which we get to paint. Hey, man, some days are winners, some days are losers. But I'm going to promise you this. We certainly are going to try to entertain you on a daily basis. Now, I mentioned I had a little extra time in the car, Benny, on Tuesday because, man, as soon as I dropped Bo off, that's the day I felt, bar none, the worst. That's the day we were both
You sounded
out.
The worst. That was the rough day.
It was horrific. And I told my wife, I go, I'm going to take Bo in. So I took him to school, and I went immediately from dropping him off. I went right to the the clinic, my little minute clinic that I go to. And I just said, I got to have them swab my throat. I got to see what this is. I feel like death. I had like back pain, like every muscle in my body
like
was aching. Yes, my bones were aching. I was hacking up a lung. And I'm like, this is not normal. This is not one of those that you can just kind of sleep through. So
honestly,
I went to the clinic.
When you texted us and you said that you were like swallowing razor blades, I go, that's not good. And that's whatever it is, like that's probably contagious. And I don't think we're seeing you all this week.
Yeah. So I go into the clinic and I'm in there and I'm like you were, Benny. I'm shivering. I'm just, please get this over with. Now, the toughest part for me was, as I've mentioned on the show, it's been a while since we've talked about it. My wife, Hannah, and I are attempting to add another mouth to the litter, the woods litter, as it were. We are going to have to do it a little differently than
cat.
Not another cat, and we are going to have to do it a little bit differently this time. We will have to do IVF, in vitro fertilization. Okay, Hannah will carry the child and all that, but her tubes are tied, so I have to. We're going to do it that way. That's how we have to do it. So I had this urologist appointment at 11 a.m. on Tuesday that took me 6 weeks to get. All right. So this thing was set in stone. When I checked in, they asked me, do you have a sore throat? I said, yes. Do you have a fever? I said, no. They said, do you have symptoms of a cold? I said, yes. They said, great. Still come in. You're going to have to mask up, but we're still going to take you. I said, no problem. Yes. So I finally leave the minute clinic. I come home for like 20 minutes, get some hot tea, drive down all the way to La Jolla to go to the urologist. Now, again, I've had 2 children. The way that I did it, I had to get on a special hormone called HCG, okay, because my sperm count was low. So you have to get on HCG and it builds up your sperm count. So I knew this. I did this with 2 kids already. No problem. The protocol works. Probably could have bought it in an alley and been on the protocol already at this point. That being said, we're going to do it the right way. Had to go to the urologist. So
if you had done it before fantasy camp, you might have had a couple of more extra base hits.
Yeah, potentially. But I am waiting for the urologist. The nurse comes in. She takes my vitals. Then the PA comes in. He said, doctor's going to be in a minute. I said, okay. Now, remind you, I'm dying. I'm shivering. I'm shaking. I'm coughing. I just want to go home. I'm exhausted. All I want to do is sleep. Comes in, starts firing questions at me. I answer all the questions, and I go, he goes, by the way, we may need a sample today. And I looked at him and I go, buddy, I'm going to tell you this right now. That's like my favorite pastime. There is no chance. And I mean,
oh my God.
There is no way in hell that you are getting a sample from me today. If Abella Danger is in the next room, you're not getting a sample from me today. There is no way.
Oh my God, man.
Okay. So he goes, when was your last one? And I said, it's in the file. It is in the file. You can it's got the date on it and everything. It's right there in the file. Just pull up my file. So I go, I can't do it. I cannot. There's no way. He's like, let me just look at your, okay. Yeah. And then guess what he tells me? Yeah. Okay. Well, you probably need to get on HCG. I'm like, I knew this 3 months ago, man. We could have been implanting this thing right now. Oh, and so I just had to wait for this appointment for them to tell me what I already knew. Fine. So then here's where it gets really good. He goes, all right, doctor will be in a minute. Just need to do a quick exam. And I go, on what? And he's like,
you know what?
Your penis. And I'm like, for what? And he's like, I just have to do the exam. So he reaches over, he puts on those rubber gloves, and he's sitting in a chair. and I have to walk up to him like this. And I
How
go,
else would it work?
and me on a table or something, like, so I have to walk up to him like this, and I go, so how do you he goes, yeah, just pull it right out the top. And I go, oh, okay. And
Like,
he
literally just whip it out.
literally whip it out of the top. And I'm standing there again.
How does he assess your fertility from a visual
Just by looking at it?
standpoint?
I have no earthly idea. So I'm again, I feel like death. Had he asked me to French kiss him to go home, I would have done it because I just wanted to go home and go to bed. So I stand there and I go, okay. And I just and throw it out.
The chat wants
And
to know,
he's-
this was a real doctor, right?
Yeah, they're
Okay,
very
this was like a
reputable.
legitimate office.
This is not the woods. I didn't find it on the internet. Okay.
Oh,
But it was
man.
it was as curb your enthusiasm as you could get.
Urologist / Kearney Mesa spa.
Right. Yeah, / Italian food restaurant. So I whip it out and he's got his gloves on and he's like checking it and doing all the stuff and he remarked that he was surprised that the boys were so large and not like sucked up into my body. And I go, yeah, it's great. Everything's great. It's so good. I just want to go home and get in bed, please. And so that was that. And then he's like, all right, doctor will be in a minute. Doctor comes in. Yeah, so we're going to put you on HCG. I'm like, I know you're going to put me on HCG. I know that. So and then, you slink out of the office and I have to do a virtual meeting in a month where what's he going to do virtually? Like I start the protocol and he'll be like, how's it going? I'll be like, it's going great. It's going great. I wonder if I have to throw it up into the screen. See how good it looks. So I'm sweating and I'm sick and I'm like nervous and sweating and everything else. So I leave, go home, get back in bed, then have to get up, go pick up the kids from school. And I was just like, this was the worst sick day in the history of the universe. In the history of the universe, it was the worst sick day you could have. But now I'm in battles with insurance to get the HCG. So it's been, I called yesterday, and you guys know me. I don't even know what insurance is. And I called yesterday. I don't know how it works. And they sent it to CVS, right? So I go to CVS. Lady's like, oh, no, we don't carry this. I'm like, yeah, why would you as a pharmacist? Why would you carry this fertility drug? Why would you? She goes, oh, this needs to go through a specialty pharmacy. I go, all right, who? She said, whatever one your insurance uses. So I call insurance. They give me the name. I call them. They say, yeah, just have the doctor's office contact us. So I contact the doctor's office, give them the number. They then call me back and say, yeah, we sent it in. You're going to need to call, though, and find out which one they contract with. I'm like, no, I sent you to the one we contract with. So I've been in, I have, it's like this back and forth, this ping pong volleying back and forth to find out where I can get this prescription. And I just don't know at this point what to do because I need to get the protocol started to get the sperm built back up and get going on this thing. But it's not been ideal. And she said, oh, you're going to need a prior authorization. And I said, oh, yeah, totally. I have no idea what that is. None. Zero. No idea who gives it to me, where I get it. Do I have to go to an office of some kind? I have no idea what a prior authorization
It's the authorization
means.
you get before.
From who?
I don't know either, but that's
right.
That's what prior means. It's a prior authorization.
Isn't the prescription from the doctor the authorization you need to get the prescription?
I think the insurance company needs to authorize the doctor to then authorize the prescription. It's a bit of a vicious circle,
right?
When it
Okay,
comes
so
to
my question to
prescriptions
you,
and insurance.
My question to you is this, buddy: why wouldn't the urologist's office handle getting that authorization? Why do I, the client, have to go get this authorization? Why do I have to be the middleman? Like I pay for insurance and I pay for the doctor. Why am I calling insurance going, hey, do I get the prior authorization? Great. Can you fax it on over to the doctor's office? Like, they should handle this.
That urologist didn't go to 6 years of medical school, specialty. I mean, think about what that medical school entails just to handle your paperwork for you at the end of the day.
It's crazy. And Carlos says it's paperwork that your doctor fills out stating you actually need it. The doctor gave me the prescription. So I need it. Hence, when they write you a prescription, that is medicine that I need. That's the author is authorized by the physician. So if the pharmacy doesn't have it, okay, I'm going to call and find a pharmacy that does, and we'll send you over there. And that's how it should go. But that's not how it's gone. So now I'm livid and losing my mind. I've just been violated sexually in the office, against my will. Apparently it's necessary, but I'm telling you, it was like I said, it was like the worst sick day of all time. It was the worst sick day ever. Oof. Yeah, super fun. And then I woke up this morning at 3 a.m. because my wife was cooking bacon in the house. And listen, I like the smell of bacon like anybody, not at 3 o'clock in the morning. It smells like a East Texas truck stop in my home right now as I'm broadcasting live from here. So
was it just for her or was it for everybody?
It's for the kids. It's for the kids. They like bacon. I'm like, God dang,
cold
babe.
Bacon? How when did they get up?
They're up. They've been up for hours. They get up about 5. So I'm laying there. I'm like, yep, she is. And I couldn't go back to sleep because, it smells like bacon. So this is my morning so far, but I'll be here tomorrow too. I'll be here all day today and tomorrow, broadcasting live from the Woods household. So we're off to a good start. Just needed to get that out. Feels better. I'm so glad we have this radio show that I can do that because that's what I was going through.
Broadcasting live from the Stephen Woods studios. He doesn't really know how.
Apparently. I really don't know how to do much. I really don't. I
All
really
right.
don't.
Well, that's I'm glad you're feeling good enough to be on with us today. It's good to see your face, even if it's not in person. And you sound pretty good, actually. Don't know how long that'll last, but we appreciate you being here this morning. Before we move on, though, I do want to ask you, because I've been thinking about it since you told the story of scanning through your morning radio dials. And I think you have a good ear for this business, and people should value your opinion. But like all the people in town, and they're probably wondering, is he talking about me? Are you worried that you're going to step on some toes and perhaps impact some friendships based on the comments you made?
No, I think, number one, they're all in the air right now. So number two, I don't even think it's their fault. I don't think it's their fault. I think it's come from above. I really do. I don't think program directors are I don't think they're looking for talent anymore. I think they're looking for placeholders, and I don't think anybody is allowed to express themselves in the way that they should anymore. Really, not the stuff that we all grew up on.
So if you're putting the onus on other program directors, bosses, upper management,
yeah,
are you saying is that in a way just giving Adam a ton of credit because we don't have that?
It's a full-throated endorsement of Adam Klug because very rarely, does he stick his beak in about the content of our show. Very rarely. I mean, like twice a year. And, I've worked that was my gig. When I was the morning guy at 94.9, it was, hey, man, you talked for 26 seconds. Yeah, that you brought me here to be a personality. How am I supposed to be a personality in 26 seconds? And I don't know, man. Like, I'm not, but I do feel like even with the 26 seconds they're given, they're kind of punting, which I did too. I mean, what are you going to do in 26 seconds? So what I'm saying is, I appreciate our show because we do try very hard to entertain every day. And, if somebody takes that personally, I would kind of say, man, I would kind of say it's not really their fault. It kind of comes from above in the corporate overlords.
I think that's fair.
So,
I think that's fair. And I also appreciate sometimes I've felt uncomfortable by the freedom that we've been given, but mostly
yes,
I appreciate it. So
no, I 100% appreciate it.
Woods, it's good to have you back. Yesterday was actually one of the bigger days of the baseball offseason. We'll get into some of the giant headlines from around the sport and, of course, talk about the controversial ending to last night's San Diego State Aztecs loss at Grand Canyon. That was a tough one to swallow.
That's brutal.
Got, of course, some opinions on the foul call with less than 2 seconds remaining. We will get into all of that, set the menu for the Thursday edition of Ben and Woods and Paul for the first time in almost a week, all together again on the radio at the same time on San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan. Get a check of traffic. But first, no athlete gets to the highest level alone. There's always a coach, always a strategy. Retirement shouldn't be any different. Trying to navigate market swings, inflation, and healthcare costs on your own can be overwhelming, especially with everything changing so fast. That's where Trajan Wealth comes in, TRAJAN Wealth.com. Their fiduciary advisors take the time to understand your goals, your risk tolerance, and your timeline. They're independent, so they're not locked into one product or one approach. Everything is customized. Trajan Wealth is local, with offices in Carlsbad and Del Mar. They work with people who want confidence, not constant worry. If you've got an old 401k like I did or investments you haven't looked at in years, this might be the nudge you needed. You can start by calling 619-367-0207. That's 619-367-0207, or take a few minutes online at trajanwealth.com. And when you're ready, everything begins there. trajanwealth.com. Trajan Wealth. Plan smarter, dream bigger. Advisory services through Trajan Wealth LLC, SEC registered investment advisor. Client paid advertisement. Additional disclosures at trajanwealth.com.
Hey, player, this is all yours. This room with this view. This speakeasy with this cocktail. Hey, could you make that too? The spa with this. Ah. And this pool on this roof. This is all for you. The all-new Hamul Casino Resort, now open.
Together again on a Thursday morning. Ben and Woods, 97.3 The Fan, and lots to get to. As I mentioned, big day in baseball yesterday. San Diego State's 1-point loss at Grand Canyon. Don't think it's necessarily devastating. They weren't going to go 20-0 in the Mountain West, but it is a devastating way to lose a game like that you could have had right at the end. And they'll be regretting that one probably later in the season at some point, but we'll get into that one as well. Did you stay up at all for the game, Woods?
No, but I watched it this morning because I got up
nice.
at 3 a.m. and had it in the queue and came into the office at about 4. And after I got back to my stretching routine, thank God, and, centered my brain, and then got showered, dressed, came in here and was like, boom, put it on as I was working. And got it all handled.
Did you know the outcome before you turned it on, or was it a surprise as you were watching?
No, I knew the outcome from your text messages last night that I woke up to, and then of course I checked the score to see them lose by 1. Went back and read your texts and went, "Ooh, this is not a good one, and then watch the end of it, and it was pretty horrific.
We'll talk about that coming up. Well, don't do this at 7:20. In our 8 o'clock hour, we'll play a little Throwback Thursday edition of Real or Fake. Try to qualify a Tier 1 for the trip to Las Vegas to see Sammy Hagar, our biggest fan contest, and Roundel Report in our 9 o'clock hour. It is Thursday. We have an NFL threesome. We only have 2 games, but we'll do an NFL threesome coming up at 9:20 with the conference championship game set for this weekend. And Woods will probably need to share some of his thoughts since he hasn't been in at all this week. We felt late on a Wednesday talking about last Sunday's and Saturday's NFL games and Monday's college football championship, but dying to get your take on some of the football because it's been pretty spectacular, I would say, on both levels. The college football playoffs were maybe the best ever, and this NFL postseason has also been loaded with exciting, compelling games.
It has, and so many people were, lamenting the no Patrick Mahomes, no
Lamar.
no Joe Burrow, no Lamar. Like so many people were lamenting that, and it's really delivered. I mean, the NFL has really, really delivered. Getting a chance to see some new teams, some fresh blood, some old blood, but with a completely fresh team, like in the Patriots. We all remember when, the Patriots were in it every single year, but they haven't really been a contender recently. And so to see them back and doing their thing is interesting. And it was incredible. Like I said yesterday, being ill and hanging around the house actually allowed me to watch more football than I think I have all year long.
And it lived up to the hype this weekend for sure. And, of course, all guests on Ben and Woods appear on the David P. Shapiro fan hotline. David P. Shapiro, criminal defense attorneys, helping good people regain control of their future when charged with a crime since 2010. Visit davidpshapirolaw.com. Yes.
What was your favorite of all of the games?
So, as I mentioned yesterday, the Rams game took place while I was in the throes of my worst illnesses at the airport, and I didn't really get to see any of that one, but
you missed a great one.
I felt like maybe that was the best one. So the one that I saw obviously was the Broncos Bills going right to the end with the controversial interception. I thought it was an interception. I don't think you can call that anything else. When the defensive player rolls out of in real time with the football in his hands, what else can you call it other than an interception? And I see people continuing to Zapruder the tape and go, no, he was down with the football. It came out too late. There was a beat there. He had control. I just can't see that. You have to ref a game in real time. And we'll talk about that with the Aztecs ending of the game as well, because context is incredibly important in officiating. I know you're supposed to officiate in a vacuum. If it's a foul in the first quarter, it's a foul in the fourth quarter. But that is not always 100% true. You have to take the context of the game. Yeah. And in that sense, that has to be an interception. You can't just decide, let's really analyze it and give this win to the Buffalo Bills.
It's a true damned if you do, damned if you don't. Or whatever they do, they're determining the outcome of the game on that play.
Is anybody pissed? I mean, it cost Sean McDermott his job.
Yes. Yeah.
And it was basically confirmed by their owner yesterday. We'll talk about their owner and Don't Do This today. Had an interesting appearance in front of the media yesterday. Is anybody furious if that's not an interception? Listen, he in my view, when I saw it and they slowed it down, in my view, I saw a catch. He hit the ground. He was touched. He's down. But then the guy, rolled over on top of him, snatched it out of his hands. People were saying he did not come to the ground with control of the football. And it begs the question every single year, what in the world is a catch? After watching the playoffs this weekend, Benny, I ask again, what in the world is pass interference? After watching the college football playoffs, what in the world? My son, who loves football now, loves it. He's playing safety on his flag football team. We're watching the game on Monday night together, and he goes, wait, how's that not a foul? He never turned his head around, Dad. I go, I have no idea. I have no idea what to tell you. I'm going to send you to an officiating camp or something, because DB goes back, hands are in the guy's face, never turns his head around, nothing's called. Next time there's a little bit of hand fighting, it's called. I don't understand. It's not going to be a perfect science ever. I'm not mad if they call that a catch. I thought in that situation, I'm like, God, what a great, great catch. at the most opportune time. Now, that changes the complexion of the universe, if that is called a catch, and it changed the complexion of the universe because it wasn't. So I don't know the right answer. I still kind of looked at it and went, that's a catch. He caught it. He's on the ground. He's touched. I don't know.
If he really caught it all the way through the ground, then no one can take it out of his hands. He has it. He has control over it. These are NFL wide receivers. If they have the ball, it doesn't get ripped out of their hands in that situation. It only got ripped out because he didn't have it.
But in Chicago, it was down. As Dub J, they had the same call essentially in Chicago, and it went the other way. So that's the tough part for me. Is like, it's what makes replay, in my opinion, so important.
But also problematic at times.
But I love that they get calls right for the most part. But Satan's Blowfish says pretty sure you could write a semester course on what is a catch. I agree. Purple said Joe Burrow said they were both called correctly, and I trust Joe Burrow. Fair enough. But it just, if you're a Bills fan, yeah, you're sick to your stomach, but also don't have 5 turnovers. Like don't
Josh
turn
Allen
the ball
didn't have
over.
a good game. Yeah, we talked about it yesterday. It just wasn't.
Don't turn the ball
his
over
best
5
game.
times.
But the big story yesterday was baseball, including one of the bigger trades of the offseason involving the Milwaukee Brewers and the New York Mets. We will get to that right after a check of traffic here on 97.3 The Fan.
From the 855 Get Ross Traffic Center, protecting San Diego after accidents or injury, here's Kelly Danick.
Traffic is brought to you by San Diego Law Firm, fighting for your sexual harassment rights at SDLF.com. Accident has cleared on westbound 8 at the northbound 15 connector ramp. Now on westbound 94 at Otay Lakes. A vehicle went down the right shoulder embankment. Also traveling on southbound 5 near Carmel Valley Road. Watch out for a stalled van over to the right shoulder. Sometimes it's called a joke, a compliment, a hand that stays too long. If it's happening at work, you don't have to face it alone. San Diego Law Firm will help you fight against sexual harassment. Contact them at SDLF.com. That's SDLF.com. I'm Kelly Danick with Ben and Woods, San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan.
If you are a Padres fan who was hoping that the Padres would land Freddie Peralta for their rotation in some sort of amazing A.J. Preller trade this offseason, I don't know what to tell you other than Woods and I and me and Craig yesterday, we warned you quite clearly. I didn't see any way that the Padres were going to be able to land Freddie Peralta, given the market for the pitcher and what other teams would be able to offer. And yesterday it came to pass that the New York Mets landed Freddie Peralta from the Milwaukee Brewers for a couple of their top prospects. Now, this is a very Milwaukee Brewers sort of move, trading a pitcher with 1 year left on their contract for younger prospects who can, potentially help them for years to come at the expense of this current team, one that, led the National League in wins last year. You can like it, you can not like it, but this is quintessential Brewers, and it is also a move that will immediately help the New York Mets do what they're trying to do, and that is remain within striking distance, maybe the only team to remain in striking distance of the Los Angeles Dodgers this offseason.
Yeah, and I thought, again, what is the baseball fan? It's a very broad question, but what is the baseball fan right now most angry at? Because I'm not angry at the Dodgers. I'm frankly, I wish we could go out and money whip guys to come there and be creative with deals to get them to come here and play.
We have been a little bit. Like, that Nick Pivetta deal was incredibly creative and crafty and savvy and smart. And it wasn't that long ago where the Padres were buying every free agent on the market.
Yeah.
We were just mocked for it by the national media.
Correct. And therein lies the problem. But what are we mad at? I saw a lot of people yesterday with the take saying, now, see, this is worse than what the Dodgers are doing. They're getting rid of their ace, who's only making $8 million this year. They're getting rid of their ace because they know they can't re-sign him. And, man, here's the thing. The Brewers are such an outlier. Like, every time they do this, they end up winning 5 more games. It's weird. Like, they did it with Hader, they won more. They did it with Burns, they won more. And they did it they're going to do it with Peralta. What are they going to win, 100 games next year? It's crazy to me. Now, it was interesting, though. I actually thought, for a rental, I was surprised they gave up. I'm surprised they gave up Tobias Myers, too. I really am. He pitched in the playoffs. He was good. So Brandon Sproat is the young up and coming fireballer. And then Jet Williams is like the most perfect Brewer of all time. He's 5'6". Their entire team averages about 5'10". They're all little pests and baseball rats. I think it's a good deal for them, knowing we're not going to pay Freddie Peralta $30 million a year. We're just not. It will cripple this franchise. The way that they're going to have to do business until things change, Ben and Paul, is that they're going to have to get the guys like Jackson Churio and roll the dice and give those guys the long 10-year extensions to keep them in Milwaukee for a good period of time. That's really the only way they can function, I think. Could their owner spend more money? Sure. Was he a moron not to do it on Freddie Peralta at his age, 31 season? I don't think so. I think this was a good deal for them.
But I think it's a good deal for the Mets as well, because
Me too.
Sproat was
Big
not
time.
Sproat was not going to impact the team this year. Williams was blocked
Doesn't really have a
by
spot.
all the high-priced, infielders that they've acquired. Unless they wanted to pull a Jackson Merrill and try to move him to the outfield or something, he wasn't going to be a long-term Met. So this is a fairly pain-free deal. The only thing they probably wish is, got an extra year of control or something, but they can afford to re-sign Freddie Peralta. He has a good season. He's happy in New York. They can start, talk on a contract extension, and that'll make the loss of a couple of prospects more palatable. So I think a good deal for the Mets, a pretty good deal for the Brewers. The one thing that I disagree with is at some point the Brewers are not going to continue to win more games as they get rid of good players. That has been a bit of an outlier the last couple of years. There always comes a time when talent wins out. And if you give up enough talent and enough depth, you are not going to have the devil magic every single season, Pat Murphy. They're due to take a step back. I was actually texting late last night with Adam, who said, I couldn't text this thread because Woodsby would be mad, but he said, should the Padres be doing more what the Brewers do? Should they take guys with a year left on their contract? They didn't do it with Michael King last year. They could do it with Nick Pivetta, who essentially with the opt-out has 1 year left now, and turn those guys into younger players with more control to have more long-term sustainable success like the Milwaukee Brewers do.
But what is success? They haven't won a ring yet. We haven't won a ring yet.
I was just going to say, I feel like the Padres have been more successful than the Brewers overall.
In the last 4 years, I did a quick comparison, because who would you rather be? What organization would you rather be? The Padres or the Brewers? The last 4 seasons, both teams have made the playoffs 3 times. Brewers do have 3 division titles. They've won more regular season games, but they've only won 1 playoff series. Padres have won 3 playoff series. They've both reached 1 NLCS in the last 4 years. Milwaukee didn't win a single game in that NLCS last year against the Dodgers. Padres won just the 1 against the Philadelphia Phillies. To me, I don't want to be, as a Padres fan, I don't want to be the Milwaukee Brewers.
No.
The Milwaukee Brewers are a well-run team who maximize the very little investment they put into their team, but they're never going to really be able to, I think, eclipse the ceiling that they have set for themselves.
They feel like more like the Rays. Like the Rays are a smart, well-run, well-ish run team, right? Like they're almost always in contention, smart, savvy, but they're never going to break through that ceiling that they're trying to do.
It's fun. I mean, it's fun to overachieve. The Brewers overachieve, and all credit to them. But I want as a fan, for a team to at least have the potential, I feel, to be a World Series contender.
Put the Brewers in the NL West and tell me how they do. Because I promise 100%. You, if the Padres were in the NL Central for the last 6 years, they'd have 4 division titles, easier playoff paths. I don't even think it's a conversation.
I don't think so either. And I'd much rather be a fan of the San Diego Padres than the Milwaukee Brewers. But, it's different, man. There's a lot of apples and a lot of oranges. The Brewers fan will look at us and go, oh, cool. Enjoy your, bloated contracts that you got. Enjoy paying Manny $40 million in when he's 40 years old. Enjoy paying Xander $30 million when he's 40 years old. Yeah, and they'd be absolutely right. They've gotten out from under all of that. We haven't. And, that Piper, the Pied Piper is going to come calling, and that happens. That's going to be rough. It's going to be really, really rough. Now, can you build up and have enough around it so where it doesn't kill you? and doesn't break you financially by the time that happens, maybe that's the job for AJ Preller or the next guy.
Even if it does, and you're telling me let's say over a course of 15 years, the Brewers can always be this same team that, pesky, overachieving, makes the playoffs a lot of years in a weak division, but doesn't really scare anyone? Or would you rather be a team like the Padres who absolutely terrifies other teams for half of those years and legitimately could win a World Series, but we'll have to pay the piper, in a couple of the years later? I'd rather be that team. I'd rather be the one knowing even that some pain is coming than the one that artificially blocks their own chance of success by trading away great players like Freddie Peralta, who could help them win right now. And now they don't have him this year. They are a worse team right now than they were yesterday.
If you just swapped the teams in their divisions, Padres and Brewers, over the last 5 years, call it, I can't see a world in which the Padres aren't in the playoffs at least 4 of those 5 years, probably with division titles. And I don't know that the Brewers even make the playoffs out of the NL West, because you had the Diamondbacks were in the World Series. The Giants have been having good years, in those last 5. And then you have the Dodgers. It's hard to even compare.
Adam,
well, listen, I'll tell you what. Watching their offense in the playoffs last year was the worst thing I've ever seen in my entire life. It was absolutely horrendous. It was horrendous what they ran out there on a daily basis trying to overcome the Dodgers. And I know we went 24 scoreless against them. I'll put my bunch, I'll give the Pepsi challenge with our bunch against that Dodgers pitching staff, in comparison to the Brewers. That was horrendous. They didn't have a prayer.
That wasn't the only big move in Major League Baseball yesterday. Coming up in our 7 o'clock hour, we can talk about the Yankees signing Cody Bellinger to a creative 5-year, $162.5 million contract as well. You also had introductory news conferences for guys like Kyle Tucker and Ranger Suarez. It was a busy day in baseball. But when we come back, San Diego State basketball, plenty to talk about with last night's late-night heartbreaking loss at Grand Canyon, the controversial call that decided it, coming up next with Bennett Woods on 97.3 The Fan. Just quickly wrapping up our conversation on the Brewers. At the end of our text thread last night, Adam said, I bet you the Brewers make the playoffs again next season. And I said, I'll take that bet. Because
really?
I think the Cubs pitching staff is very deep, and they're going to win that division, which means the Brewers are fighting for a wild card. And that means in the National League, you're fighting for a wild card with the Mets, the Braves, the Phillies, the Padres, the Diamondbacks, the Giants, maybe a surprise team somewhere in there. It's much harder to win a wild card than it is to win that division. So if the Cubs come through, even without Kyle Tucker, they've got a deep, good pitching staff. Milwaukee just took away from their pitching staff yesterday. I think they're fighting for a wild card, and I think they don't make it. Now, I could be wrong, and maybe Adam's argument is right, but I wanted to ask you too. Do you think the Milwaukee Brewers make the playoffs again this season, or does the run come to an end at 3 straight seasons this year?
I think they find a way.
Okay.
I really do. And every year I don't know if Paulie still has it handy, but where we all picked them to finish last year, I don't think I had them in the playoffs. And they won the friggin' division.
None of us
best
did.
best record in baseball. And so, they have a phenomenal skipper. They have a phenomenal culture. Will they advance in the playoffs? I don't think so, but I think they can find a way to make it in.
Ben had him finishing second. Woods had him finishing third. Me and Woods both had him finishing third.
Yeah. So here in a couple weeks, we'll do this again, where we'll lay it all out, what we think is going to happen. We got a lot right last year, but we got a lot wrong, and they were one of the teams we got wrong for sure.
All right, moving on to some college basketball and last night's game against SDSU. And a lot went on before the final call that we can talk about. But
sure,
clearly the moment that we'll have Aztecs fans talking is the foul call that actually went against Tay Simmons, not Miles Bird. It was a little unclear as you were watching the game what exactly.
Bird got all ball.
It was all ball.
Even the announcers were like, I really thought he got all ball on that one.
Because
he did. Ball.
He did.
We're talking about a little leg check, maybe.
So if you missed
if
you missed the game last night, I'll fast forward through all of it. Back and forth first half, Aztecs led by 2. Grand Canyon, though hot shooting all night, ends up with a 12-point lead in the second half with about 7 or 8 minutes to go. The Aztecs go on a big run, take the lead on a Simmons putback in the final minute, get a big stop, run the clock down to about 7 seconds left, and B.J. Davis draws a foul going to the line for a 1-and-1. One of the best free throw shooters in the country going to the line for a chance to put the Aztecs up at least 3 and guarantee overtime at the worst. But he misses the front end of the 1-on-1. So Grand Canyon down 1, 7 seconds left. They do not call a timeout. They get the ball into the hands of their top bench player, like their version of B.J. Davis, Mekhi Williams, who decides, hey, you know what? I'm going to drive to the basket. It's always a good strategy. Maybe you make a shot. Maybe you draw a whistle. You just go blazing toward the hoop. The Aztecs are ready for it. They have the guy triple covered, and Miles Bird is the fail-safe at the hoop to make sure that he can block it. And he does, and it looks like the Aztecs have won the game. And then a whistle comes from way on the other side of the court that Tay Simmons bumped Williams as he went to the basket. 2 free throws. Williams steps up, makes them both, and Grand Canyon wins it 70-69. Now,
Aztecs actually even got a decent shot off with 1.8 or whatever.
Dutch designed a pretty good play in the last second to get a half-court pass to Reese Dixon Waters, and he missed the shot, but he had a shot. He had a chance at it, but at that point, you're probably going to lose the game. I am going to argue here, and I hope I can convince you guys and everybody listening, because I feel like I'm right here, why that is such a bad call in that situation. Because yes, there may have been a tiny bit of contact from Tay Simmons, and by the rules of basketball, any contact can be whistled as a foul. But if that is a foul, Paulie, you play basketball. If that is a foul, how many whistles will there be every time down the court? 4 or 5? There would be a whistle every single time down the court. So if you're going to argue, okay, he touched him, so that's a foul, that's on you, that's fine. But if you are a referee, and these were apparently the best referees the Aztecs have had all season. Mark Ziegler wrote, they were ranked all in the top 11 in the country by Ken Palm. So good refs. And usually good refs can see a situation for what it is. And in my sense as a basketball observer, when it comes down to the end of the game, you can't swallow your whistle. You have to be looking for the call if it happens. You have to officiate the game fairly. Which team made the better play in that situation? Was it the guy barreling just at top breakneck speed into a 1-on-3, hoping to draw a whistle or get lucky and make a shot? Or was it the team that had the guy bracketed and had the fail-safe block shot guy? The Aztecs made by far the better play in that situation. And if I am a referee watching that, I go, there's no way I can call a foul there. The Aztecs played that superbly, and Grand Canyon was looking for a giant bailout, which I just gave them in that situation. Yeah. I did not understand the call at the end of that game there.
Yeah, there was a couple moments I noticed too. I just pulled it back up on my TV here. Aztecs were, I think, trailing, and I think Miles got a steal and breakaway, and then he went to do the Euro step, and they called him for traveling. Again, so much time. Like he wasn't necessarily going hard to the basket. Like he was kind of, doing his thing, but it was a bad play. Like whether it was traveling or not, Bird made a bad play there, and the officials go, whatever it is, I'm not giving you any credit for that. We're calling it traveling.
You see that all the time with guys that have a certain play style. Miles Bird is one of them. I'm thinking in the NBA, Russell Westbrook. I see it even in rec league where guys will just lower their shoulder, bury their head, and just barrel through to the basket out of control. They're not actually even looking to get off a decent layup or any sort of shot. They're just hoping to draw contact. And defensively, you're like, this guy is running full speed, spinning into me. Like, what am I supposed to do? Just get out of the way and let him have the lane?
It's crazy. And, back to the NFL playoffs for a second, it was clearly the strategy of Bo Nix and the Denver Broncos in the last couple of minutes of the game was, I'm going to throw floaters up there and hope for a penalty, which is exactly what they got. So I think, you play to try to get those fouls. I thought it was a ticky-tack call, and I think they thought, but again, who the hell knows what a foul is in basketball anymore? I sure don't.
Well, everything's a foul. I mean, again, I see in the chat, you got to call the foul no matter when it occurs. You can't. Basketball would be unwatchable. If referees followed the rules as written. Basketball would be the most unwatchable sport on the planet.
Football is the same. There's holding on every single play.
If you don't allow referees in basketball and football some latitude to call the game as they see it, to make the game fair, that ultimately is the referee's job. Make it a fair contest between the two teams. If they enforced every rule by the letter on every play, no one would watch either sport ever. It would be the worst television in history. So don't give me, well, it's in the rules and he touched him. Call the game in a way that is fair for both teams, that rewards the team that makes the better play and penalizes the team that makes the worst play. And in that case, it wasn't even close. Grand Canyon did not make the better play. San Diego State by far made the better play in that situation.
And again, I think the crazy thing that happens, it's like a broken record about the San Diego State Aztecs this season. And again, I don't know what you can do. What is the defense for a team that shoots 10% from three-point range that comes in and shoots 50?
Yeah.
What do you do?
Yeah.
It's a broken record. Teams are finding their three-point stroke against this team every single time they play.
But I'm not watching these games and going, wow, the Aztecs perimeter defense is terrible once again. Like, I feel like they're playing decent SDSU defense that we're accustomed to.
Exactly,
I texted you guys yesterday. It felt like how many times it had to have been 2 to 3 times a week during the baseball season. How many times did we come in after a team that threw out their 4 or their 5 against us, and we're like, hey, you got to tip your cap because he looked like Nolan Ryan last night.
Looked like Nolan Ryan.
That's what I feel like watching this Aztec team, where a weak 3-point shooting team comes in,
Steph Curry,
and they're all Steph Curry. Like, yeah, exactly. They don't miss.
The numbers.
What do you do?
Yeah, 10 of 21 shooting for Grand Canyon, who came in as the worst 3-point shooting team in the conference. Meanwhile, the Aztecs, 3 of 18. So That's a 21-point discrepancy in a 1-point game, and that's on San Diego State.
Yeah.
Now,
we spent a lot of time on the controversial call at
Yeah.
the end, but the Aztecs did not play a great game.
no, but it's tough to do. We talked about it yesterday. I've been to that arena, that Grand Canyon.
Tough place,
It's
yep.
a tough place to play. It's a tough place to shoot. You've got all the students who are standing the entire game. It's loud. You're going to be thrown off a little bit. There's a reason they're now 41-3 at home in the last 3 seasons. They play extremely good at home. And when Brian Dutcher and the other coaches in the Mountain West who are leaving for the Pac-12, remember they kind of pitched a fit when the Mountain West said, we're letting Grand Canyon in early.
Yeah.
They didn't care that Grand Canyon's joining the league. They didn't care that Grand Canyon's going to come to their place. Aztecs can take care of Grand Canyon at Viejas Arena. There was one day that concerned all of them, including Brian Dutcher, and that was yesterday. The one time that they would have to go there and know that in that crazy arena, they may play a game that comes down to a call at the end in a just insanely loud arena that goes against them. And at the end of the season, for a team that is probably going to be very squarely on an NCAA tournament bubble if they don't win the conference tournament, that game could be one that costs them a trip to the NCAA tournament. And guess what? It is certainly setting up that could possibly happen for San Diego State. So Brian Dutcher called that from 10 miles away when they let Grand Canyon into the conference this year. He knew that he didn't want any part of going to that arena in Phoenix and playing that team because it's their Super Bowl when the Aztecs come in.
Everybody in the chat is, maybe BJ should make a free throw. Let's say he hits the first of the 1-on-1. Let's say he hits the second one. That puts them up, 3?
Yeah.
Does anyone think Grand Canyon's not coming right down and burying another
Maybe.
3 to tie the game and go into overtime?
I don't want to bury BJ Davis.
I don't either.
The Aztecs went 16 of 19 from the foul line. They hit their
That's fantastic.
They hit their free throws that game. BJ missed, an important one. Everybody misses a free throw now and then. End of the game, tough situation. Hopefully he learns it from it, and the next time he'll be more comfortable in that spot. And credit to Williams on the other side for making both of those free throws. He went 9 of 10 from the free throw line, and they made 22 free throws. The Aztecs made 16. They got to the line 9 times more than San Diego State did.
The Aztecs, they just need more consistent production out of Miles Byrd. He is, one way or the other, he is like the lifeblood of that team. He had a great game on Saturday against New Mexico.
0-6 from 3-point range, 2 of 10 from the field. He did play, he had 8 rebounds,
blocks,
did some
steals.
blocks again, played hard on defense, should have had the game-winning block. We would not have cared that Miles Byrd had an off game offensively if he had the game-winning block at the end of the game. We would have said, Miles Byrd had an off shooting night, but he did everything he needed to do to deliver that win for the Aztecs.
Agreed.
And if that referee does what he should have done and not blown the whistle there, Miles Byrd's kind of the unsung hero of that game.
Yeah,
there's nothing harder to do than continue to play hard on defense when you're just having a rotten night offensively. And Byrd did that. So I'm not burying Miles Byrd either. Not having Magoon Guath, I think the easy thing to say is, if the Aztecs have their best, interior defender and freshman of the year in the Mountain West last year, they win that game easily. I don't know that that's true. I don't know if the Aztecs are a better team with or without Magoon Guath at this point.
I think Miles Heidi's pretty banged up too.
And Jeremiah Odin is not playing well. Yeah. So, if they didn't have Tay Simmons step up and play well off the bench, they really are having some issues on the interior right now. So in that sense, getting Guath back would help.
And I know they lost, and a loss is a loss, but we also have gone 14 minutes now talking about that game, and I don't think we've even mentioned Elsie Harrington. What a player. Like he is such a stud. He came out so hot yesterday, and I'm like, they need to do whatever it takes to keep him here next year as a going into a sophomore year.
I think Dan Dickow made the point during the TV broadcast, and he was right. Brian Dutcher rarely lets freshmen play a ton.
Yeah.
Especially significant minutes, and almost never in the starting lineup consistently. But Elsie Harrington is so advanced already for a college basketball player, and he is making – he could be one of the better players in the country if he sticks around. Who knows whether San Diego State will be able to keep him, whether he'll hit the transfer portal, whether he'll go in the draft, but they should do everything they can. It seems like the kind of kid that might want to stick around. The fact that he ended up choosing San Diego State over the other options that he had makes me think that that's important to him. But, that'll be his decision with his family going forward. But I'd love to see him back for another season at SDSU for sure.
No question. No question. You can hear the kids getting ready for school. Pipe down out there, guys. We got a live radio show here, not a live stream. All right, let's dial it in. Okay. Jesus God.
Do the other morning shows have this problem around town?
No, I don't think they do. I don't think they do. God bless. I tell you, we had the conversation 5 times. Hey, listen, Dad's doing a real show. We're live on the radio. Not a live stream. It's not loosey goosey. You're not going to come in here and yell "D's nuts" on the air.
You can just don't curse.
Yeah, but just keep it clean in there. And they're just out there just screaming. So there you go. That's an old one. Oh man.
All right. I
can't believe you stayed up till midnight to that for that.
Well,
last
the game
night.
ended before 11, but I had to put together some highlights, and I was a little hyped up. My heart was kind of racing at the end of that game. That was an entertaining one, and. Yeah, I see some accusations, excuse making. Yeah, it wasn't the best game for San Diego State, but again, they were never going 20-0 in the Mountain West. They were never going 20-0.
Remember, we're not their flagship. You don't have to polish the turd. You can tell it like it is.
Well, I'll tell you. I think there's a better than not chance that loss and the Troy loss together cost them a trip to the NCAA tournament.
Yeah, it wasn't going to be a good,
which is sad.
It wasn't going to be a good win for the Aztecs resume.
Not really.
But it was going to be a pretty bad loss
because no one really cares how hard it is to play at Grand Canyon because they're not watching that game on the East Coast. They don't care about Grand Canyon.
They're going to wake
all.
up and look at the box score.
Yeah.
They're going to look at the records. Be like, GCU's having an okay year, but not anything great.
It's not.
Still on top. Still on top of the Mountain West.
Got a one-game lead, but a tough game this Saturday now at UNLV, who just beat Utah State. So they'll, and UNLV hates San Diego State more than anybody. So
where's that game?
At UNLV.
Oh,
so
boy.
keeping the road trip going. So you can't, as Dutch will always say, you can't let one loss turn into 2 losses. And we'll see how they bounce back. That'll be a real test for this team coming up on Saturday at the Thomas and Mack Center at UNLV. All right, you ready to get to some DDT?
I'm ready.
All right.
Friend. The Buffalo Bills owner, you can tell there's a reason they probably keep that guy off of mic most of the time.
And a wild conspiracy theory that we can talk about in the NFL is starting to actually make some inroads with one of the teams. We'll get to all that coming up next with Ben and Woods after a quick check of traffic on San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. GEGE 000-466. For a full list of games and rules, play at 7 Mile Casino. Visit 7milecasino.com.
First, though, our place to play cards in San Diego is right there off the 5 freeway in Chula Vista. It's San Diego's closest card room. It's also the best card room, Woods. It is 7 Mile Casino.
I had a meeting the other day. We were talking about 7 Mile Casino, and the guy I met with said, the GM there listens every day. Loves you guys, loves the tier ones, would love to see more tier ones come in there. And, we've been talking about this for years, but we really got to get some sort of poker tournament or blackjack tournament going on out at 7 Mile Casino for us in the tier ones. We got to get that on the books and get it done because it would be so much fun showing you guys that haven't been what an incredible place it is.
It really is. California-style blackjack, Texas Hold'em, poker, and Pai Gow, and Baccarat, those are your 4 games. No slot machines, as Woods Lobson says, no cigarette smoke. It's light, it's airy, it's comfortable. Feels like you're at a nice restaurant or club because you really are. It's just a nice restaurant or club where you can play cards and have a little action while you're sitting down at the tables.
That's exactly right. And you never count your money while you're sitting at the tables. All right, there'll be time enough for counting when the dealing's done. Just remember that, some sage advice. But no, head into 7 Mile Casino, just 7 minutes from downtown. You will not be disappointed.
Hey, player, this is all yours. This room with this view. This speakeasy with this cocktail. Hey, could you make that too? The spa with this. Ah. And this pool on this roof. This is all for you. The all-new Hamul Casino Resort, now open.
Don't Do This, brought to you by Dixie Line. Let me start that again. Don't Do This, brought to you by Dixie Line Lumber and Home Centers, helping San Diego homeowners and contractors fix it, build it, and enjoy it.
Art is about to imitate life here, or life is about to imitate art here, Ben, when you guys hear our do this. I mean, that was the timing of that couldn't have been better. I mean,
Holy crap.
phenomenal. But
I almost want to start with do this.
I know.
All right, just go ahead.
You know what?
Just go
All
ahead.
right, we're going to switch it up. We can do whatever we want on this radio show.
Mega doo-doo.
We'll start with this. I was laying in bed, sick as a dog, got a DM from one of our tier ones, James Kincaid, and all it said was, enjoy. And it was just a piece of audio, and it said, Pacers radio read. And I'm laying in bed. I don't feel good. It's 5 o'clock at night. I'm just shaking. I go, all right, I'll give it a listen. I started dying laughing. I sent it immediately to Ben and Paul. I said, we got to play this. So I don't know who it's from. I don't know when it happened. It could have been 10 years ago. But it says Pacers radio read.
It's new to us, so we're playing.
New to us.
Citizens Energy Group of the Pacers teaming up to donate $5 to the Warm Heart, Warm Home Foundation. Every time a Pacer knocks down a foul shot, the Let's try that again. Warm Heart, Warm Home Foundation.
The Warm
Heart, Warm Home. He, again, let's hear it one more time what he misspoke.
To the Warm Heart, Warm Home Foundation. Every time a Pacer knocks down a foul shot, the let's try that again. Warm Heart, Warm Home Foundation.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
The Warm Hole Foundation is a different one I'd probably donate to, but that's a totally different
right. James is in our chat, and he said it was from their game that night I sent it, so it's within the last
Monday
few
night.
days. Yeah. Wow.
Absolutely. James, thank you for finding that and pulling that and sending it to us. I don't even think it made its way to awful announcing or anything.
The Warm Hole, let's try that again.
It's the give up. It's the give up right when he says it again.
I have that same reaction.
Do it again. Just the
The
short
warm hole. Warm.
Oh.
Let's try that again.
Just like Ben was talking about Dixon line lumber.
Dixie line lumber.
Dixie line lumber.
All
That's brilliant.
Now we can switch to don't do this.
Well, you start.
All right, I will start with a raging conspiracy theory involving the San Francisco 49ers that is actually starting to get a little credibility based on what their general manager, John Lynch, said yesterday. So apparently, people online are clinging on to this theory that the 49ers are the most injury-plagued team in football because their practice facility and stadium are right next to an electrical substation. Someone posted on I believe a Reddit thread that claiming to be an expert. His handle is Living Energy. Excuse me.
Oh,
Low frequency electromagnetic fields can degrade collagen, weaken tendons, and cause soft tissue damage.
Okay.
So they're saying that because there is a substation, they're basically like degrading the bodies of the 49ers when they're practicing, and that's why they're suffering injuries at a high level this season. Now, this is what bothers me.
Oh, God.
Correlation does not equal causation.
Correct.
Electricity is not some new untested technology. Electricity has been around over a century and in wide use in society all the time. We all deal with it constantly. And I'm not saying that you want to necessarily stick your finger in an electrical socket. That would be very dangerous.
Yeah.
But there's no reason to think, and scientists will agree with this, that there is anything unsafe about being around electrical fields. We're all doing it constantly. And because we have so much data and so many years of experience with electricity, if there was a pattern to this, it would have been discovered long ago. That I'm always open to, like, new information comes in all the time. And if this was a brand new technology, yeah, you'd want to look into every possible, unknown side effect but this is not something new. Electricity, there are electrical substations everywhere, and there's been never any evidence that shows, oh, yeah, a lot of people have a lot of knee injuries because they live near a substation, or they have a lot of elbow injuries because there are power lines over their house. They would be able to track, commonalities among those things. This is just some wild, crazy internet conspiracy. But John Lynch said, well, we need to look into everything. So we're going to start an investigation into this electrical substation, like Reddit theory that was spreading online.
I think no harm, no foul to check it out, certainly. Ask the people, Ben, and did you ever see Aaron Brockovich, right? They thought that was a big conspiracy. All those people were getting cancer, and turns out there were toxins being dumped into their water. Remember the PG&E scandal, right? But they for years were told, no, there's nothing wrong with this water. Everything is safe with this water. We're not doing anything. We're not putting chromium hexavalent in the water. It's not going to do anything.
They were.
So I think
maybe something is up in terms of someone is poisoning the 49ers and blaming it on the electrical substation, like this is Aaron Brockovich. But a normal electrical substation shouldn't cause anything like this.
But here's the thing, and I made this exact point to you guys off air this morning. I saw this. Now it's on Instagram, so take it with a grain of salt, unless you're me and buy into it fully. A lot of athletes have gone back to wired headphones. They're no longer using the wireless AirPods, of which I use all the time. I have them in my ears 18 hours a day, seemingly, and a lot of them are going back to the wired because they feel that it's much safer than the wireless technology in their ears, affecting their brains potentially. So something to certainly think about, right? Just something to think about. Yeah.
I guess if I go too far down that hole, then I'm going to start thinking, I've had an iPhone.
Is dangerous.
I've had a miniature computer in my pocket for the last however many years, 25 years or whatever.
If you follow this line to its conclusion, you are living in a in a teepee on a reservation with no power. I mean,
Sure.
and if you want to go that route, you're free to live your life the way you do. But if you want to be part of the modern world, it means electricity. It means power. We're not, and people have looked into this. I guarantee you that, people were afraid of electricity. People were afraid of microwaves. Remember when we first got a microwave? Like, you'd stand away from it. Like you
stand back.
Yeah. I mean, has your microwave killed you yet in the last, 50 years at your house?
Not that I know of.
No, but I still get domed out from those like wives' tales that we were told, however long ago. I'll be sitting in the kitchen waiting for something to finish up, and I'm like, am I too close to the microwave? Like, am I getting nuclear brain cancer right now? Like, what is happening? Yeah, I don't know. You can't live. That seems like just living in paranoia. But.
It's fair. But, again, I think it's smart of them to at least look into it. So they will be doing that.
I think they're going down a road that will just continue opening kind of weird cans of worms until they just can't. I mean, I think they're going to paralyze themselves. If this is what they spend their time on, they're going to find something, because you can always connect something with anything else. But until there's like established evidence over a large scale, you're not going to discover anything at that one substation. Now, if you found evidence that, around 100 different substations, there was a cluster of knee injuries. Okay, that's legitimate scientific evidence. Come back to me when you have something like that, and not one team that plays a very hazardous sport where guys are trying to absolutely harm them on every single play. To me, that's the more likely cause of injuries. Players on the other team just ramming into them with their helmets and pads constantly, rather than some substation that's a few hundred yards away.
Sure. Absolutely. I think we spent 15 minutes on this topic, longer than maybe we should have. But the biggest probably story in the NFL yesterday was when they did a little press conference with the owner of the Buffalo Bills. Obviously kind of came as a surprise when they fired Sean McDermott, and Brandon Beane, general manager of the Buffalo Bills, was sitting down up at the table, was sitting there with owner Terry Pegula. And Brandon Beane was asked a question. Pegula, I'm sorry. I like Pegula.
Pegula.
Yeah, sounds better to me. Pegula.
A square Pegula into a warm hole.
Into a warm hole. There you go. So he's sitting up there with the owner.
The warm hole. Let's try that again.
Yeah, you got it. He's asked a question about a draft pick, Keon Coleman, and Pegula decides to interrupt, and he just dragged his own current player.
Yeah, can I interrupt?
Uh-oh.
I'll address
the
Keon situation. The coaching staff pushed to draft Keon. I'm not saying Brandon wouldn't have drafted him, but he wasn't his next choice. That was Brandon being a team player and taking advice of his coaching staff, who felt strongly about the player. And, he's taken, for some reason, heat over it and not saying a word about it. But I'm here to tell you the true story.
Man. So not only did he kind of rip on the coach that he just fired, because apparently McDermott was in the room fighting for the player, Keon Coleman, which is that's not uncommon at all. That happens all the time in the draft room. I'm sure. No, I want this guy. I can get this guy to be.
No,
exactly
I need a wide receiver, and the GM's thinking, no, we really need to spend this pick on a secondary player.
Yeah, it happens all the time. I'm sure.
Yeah, and so not only does he rip on McDermott, he also, who's out the door, he also rips on Keon Coleman, who's still with the team. And, the GM is there going, oh, God, like now he's making excuses for me. Somebody, Purple just said the best part on Reddit, they were finding clips of Bean saying that he'd lose sleep over losing Keon Coleman. And now the owner's coming in and saying, actually, no, Sean McDermott, it's a mess. And it's why, sometimes you want your owner to be forward facing and sometimes you don't. We got lucky with Peter Seidler and Ron Fowler. Both of those guys would tell it like it is.
It sounds like Pegula is trying to preemptively defend his choice to promote Bean, despite their playoff exit, yet fire Sean McDermott and make
Right.
that make sense. Like, if you want to blame everybody, then clean house, get a new GM and a new coach and come in. But he wanted to make it clear, I believe in Bean. I don't believe in McDermott. And I want to give you a nebulous reason as to why, because it was McDermott who pushed for Keon Coleman.
And Keon Coleman's still on the roster. He's like, oh, cool.
It hasn't been it hasn't been disastrously bad. I mean, not exactly what you wanted, but not terrible.
Well, he's 22 years old.
Yeah.
It's not over yet. I mean, there's still time, but just pretty nuts. Pretty nuts.
And that is
That's
that is do and don't do this for a Thursday.
That was Don't Do This with Ben and Woods on 97.3 The Fan.
All right, we will take a timeout. When we come back, we got more baseball to talk about. We discussed the Mets trade with the Brewers earlier, but what about the big free agent signing yesterday? The Yankees bringing back Cody Bellinger. Get to that and more coming up next on San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan. First, though, SDFatLoss.com extending their New Year's sale. I know we're still in January. It's not too late to follow through on your New Year's resolutions. There's nothing about January 1st that's magical. You can start the SDFatLoss.com weight loss program today, and by the start of baseball season, you are going to be down 10 to 20% of your body weight. That could be 20, 30, even 40 pounds. That's what I lost in 60 days, 40 pounds, and I have kept the weight off now more than 2.5 years. It'll be 3 years coming up this summer because I just followed my coach's great strategies, simple techniques, eating, how much, when, where, what. It's all based on real food, stuff I was eating anyway, just, grocery store stuff, chicken, had some vegetables, would mix in some steak and some fish from time to time. You can do it as well. No injections, no exercise necessary to lose the weight. All I must say, I felt so much better after the program that I've really been able to step up my exercise program, just feel healthier than I have in years, thanks to SDFatLoss.com. I'm not the only success story. Chris Ello, Matt Scraby, Tony Gwynn Jr., John Flint down the hall, and tier ones who have lost thousands of pounds in San Diego. You could be the next. Just sign up for your free consultation by going to SDFatLoss.com and take advantage of their New Year special. Get over 20% off right now for the best prices of the year at SDFatLoss.com. That's SDFatLoss.com. Results may vary.
Hey, player, this is all yours. This room with this view. This speakeasy with this cocktail. Hey, could you make that too? The spa with this. Ah. And this pool on this roof. This is all for you. The all-new Hamul Casino Resort, now open.
Cody Bellinger returning to the New York Yankees on, I think, one of the more interesting free agent contracts that was signed this offseason. We'll get into some more baseball talk with Ben and Woods after a quick check of traffic here on 97.3 The Fan.
From the 855 Get Ross Traffic Center, protecting San Diego after accidents or injury, here's Kelly Danick.
Traffic is brought to you by local and veteran-owned Manny Sedano Ford and Lincoln. Tow trucks on scene of a solo vehicle accident southbound 5 before Garnett. It's over the right shoulder. And reports of a hit-and-run crash on the Mar Vista exit off of westbound 78. San Diego, it's time to hit the trails. Own the 2025 Ford Bronco Big Bend for $477 a month, or the versatile Ranger XL for just $359. Get either one today with just $1 down. For more details on these offers, head to SedanoFord.com. And Kelly Danick with Ben and Woods, San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan.
Broadcasting live from the Bill House Studios, we know how. It's Ben and Woods, and it's been a fairly quiet offseason for the Yankees. They got Trent Grisham back when he accepted the qualifying offer right at the start of the offseason. They traded for Ryan Weathers. And now, after missing out on some of the other high-priced free agents, they finally agreed to a deal yesterday with Cody Bellinger to bring him back in pinstripes next season. Felt like they had to do something. I mean, you know, the Yankees fan base may not expect George Steinbrenner anymore, Woods, but they certainly don't want to just see players departing and no one replacing them in the offseason, which gave Bellinger a little more leverage than he had earlier in the offseason.
Well, yeah, especially, talk about the division that they play in as well. Blue Jays went to the World Series last year. They've improved their team. The Boston Red Sox, are as capable as any team of going on a sustained run of success. They've made some bonehead decisions, but I think they've righted the ship there as well. Tampa Bay Rays in their division, always doing something to be a pest. And so, yeah, they kind of had to. And I think Cody Bellinger was reaped the benefits of waiting a little bit. Probably got a lot of extra cash that came his way. Got the big signing bonus as well, $20 million signing bonus, opt-outs after the second and third seasons, full no-trade clause as well. But they had to. I mean, he's a fit there in New York. They had to do it. They were literally backed into a corner.
Remember earlier in the offseason, we were talking about how Cody Bellinger wanted more than some of those similar deals that Kyle Schwarber and Pete Alonso had gotten. He got a little bit more. He didn't get a ton more. He got $162.5 million overall. But I think it's the structure of this deal that is so advantageous to Bellinger, because when you look into it, the majority of that money, I think over half of it, is in the first 2 years.
Yeah.
So he's going to make a ton of money in the first 2 years. And then, as you said, he's got an opt-out after the second and third year. If he plays well in the first 2 years, he'll have another chance to sign another big deal, whether it's a long-term or another high AAV deal, and make even more than the 162.5. Or if he doesn't play well, he's still secure for 3 more years and can stick around for another $75 million or so in the last 3 years for the Yankees. So whether he plays well or not, he's protected with this deal. I think Cody Bellinger ended up doing quite well in the contract he signed with the Yankees.
Yeah, so do I. I mean, and you look at Kyle Tucker with the Dodgers, and he had his presser yesterday, and watched the second of that. But the structure of his deal too. I mean, it's a dream, right, for the player. The $1 million salary, the $64 million signing bonus, and I saw Bob Nightingale stirring the pot yesterday, talking about how actual salaries for Shohei and Kyle Tucker will be about $3 million this year. And yeah, it didn't move me. I did read a couple of threads, and it was like, look, this isn't exactly tax evasion. This is just tax aversion from these players. Kyle Tucker, I believe, lives in Florida or Texas, and no state income tax. So they're able to stroke the guy the check up front at first, and he'll just pay taxes on that $1 million. So really beneficial for a guy like Kyle Tucker, and that's the way that they've decided to game the system, and nothing illegal about it, I guess.
It's as I look at the Bellinger signing, he was already with the Yankees last year, as was Grisham. They haven't made any huge additions other than the trade for Ryan Weathers. And I look at all the other teams, like the ones that have made big moves. The Mets obviously have made some huge moves with Bo Bichette and Freddie Peralta now, but they also have lost huge players like Pete Alonso and Edwin Diaz. The Cubs have made some big moves, but have also lost Kyle Tucker. Which teams or team, in your opinion, is actually definitely better than they were last season, based on the moves that they have made so far this offseason? I think the Dodgers are clearly better.
Yeah,
they haven't lost anyone of major consequence, and they've added Kyle Tucker and Edwin Diaz, so they're definitely better. I mean, the Red Sox have added some pitching, but they also lost Alex Bregman. I mean, who's definitely better?
I think the Cubs are better,
even without Kyle Tucker. They've lost Kyle Tucker, and they've gotten better this offseason. I think you can make that argument. That's hard to do, though, to lose the number one free agent in baseball and somehow get better in the offseason. That's a high wire act, and if the Cubs have pulled it off, good for them.
Well, the addition of Cabrera is huge for them as well. I mean, it's just massive. The health that they're going to have, Justin Steele coming back this year. I mean, their pitching should be nasty. And yeah, man, Alex Bregman isn't Kyle Tucker, but Alex Bregman isn't also, some slouch either. Winning player, knows how to play the game, can probably put up, maybe not as close to Kyle Tucker, but it's not going to be a tremendous fall off, I don't think, and makes them a little bit deeper as well. So I think they've gotten better.
Bregman offsets Tucker. Cabrera certainly upgrades their pitching rotation. I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm just saying it's hard to lose Kyle Tucker and say we won the offseason even though we lost our best player. I mean, that's tough
honestly,
to do.
The only team that's improved incrementally just because of the guys they already had is the Dodgers. I mean,
I agree.
And I say incrementally just because they were already so good and so deep, and God knows they're probably not done yet. So I look at them and I go, all right, now you're just throwing Kyle Tucker into that lineup. And, I thought they were going to win 118 last year. They didn't, but I think that was strategic. We'll see what the strategy looks like this year. I got to imagine, don't you guys imagine that it's going to be the same type of deal with the Dodgers this year of, Glass now tweaked his knee. He's going to be out a couple months. Snell tweaked his knee. He's going to be out a couple months. Oh, Kyle Tucker's got a little hammy. He's going to be out. I mean, they're deep enough to withstand it. It worked. Your only hope and prayer is that one of these years their strategy doesn't work, and the injuries do end up hurting them. The injuries, whether they be real or manufactured.
Bill in the chat says, well, Toronto, they got Dylan Cease and Cody Ponce, and they got the Japanese third baseman Okamoto, but they also lost Bo Bichette. That's a pretty big loss that they need to offset in the offseason as well. Yeah, I'm sure some teams have gotten better, maybe on the bottom end, like the Pirates with Ryan O'Hearn and a couple of the moves they've made. But the Dodgers, to me, are the only team. The two-time defending World Series champions are the only team that I can almost guarantee you has gotten better this offseason. Now
they actually trimmed fat.
Yeah, they trimmed fat, and they've added stars. It's the rich get richer and richer.
The other teams
and richer.
the other teams lost stars and added stars. I think
Yeah.
the Orioles got better this year. I do. I think the
With
Orioles
Pete
are
Alonso,
going to
okay,
be
that's fair.
a better team.
The Taylor Ward trade might work out for them.
Yeah. Word around the campfire is they're after another frontline starter. Really, the best one available is Framber Valdez, and I'm not sure what he's looking for, and I'm not sure how much his little meltdown last year had to do with the fact that he hasn't been signed yet.
Yeah, I mean, the offseason isn't over yet. There's still moves to be made, but right now the Dodgers are winning the offseason. In my standings currently have the Dodgers on top, unfortunately.
100%.
All right, we will come back. Hour number 3 includes some take on some real or fake on a Throwback Thursday and more. Ben and Woods continuing next year on 97.3 The Fan.
Oh, yeah, we're halfway home on a Thursday. Yeah, Thursday. Monday for me. Welcome back, Ben and Woods, 97.3 The Fan. Great to be here with you this morning. I don't like missing work. I really don't. I have such a fun time doing this show, 99% of the time. And I really missed you guys, missed my beloved compatriots, Ben Higgins, Paul Reindl. Now I'm working from home today because it was wild yesterday. I called in at the reset this time yesterday and chatted with you guys for about 10 minutes. And I had sent you the screenshots from the clinic that said I did not have flu A and I did not have strep throat. 5 seconds after I got off the phone with you guys, I got a voicemail from the clinic. And they said, oh, you actually tested positive for rhinovirus, which also is badass. I don't know what that is, but it sounds cool as hell.
I think that's the common cold, but that's fine. Yeah.
Is that what the common cold?
Rhinovirus, yeah, common cold. That's what Wood sounds like when he's sleeping, I think.
Bro, all I know is I go, that sounds cool. So whatever it is, I've got it, and it sounds awesome, right? So I got it's just me. I got the rhinovirus. Like, man, you sound like a real badass. And then they also said that I tested positive for influenza B, I guess. So no big deal. They sent in a couple prescriptions.
But if you study, you can get that up to an influenza B plus or A minus.
I was actually shooting for my average, which is about a C.
Influenza C.
Influenza C. But I got the meds and all that. And so we just decided, I'm well enough to do the show. I got my voice back. I don't have a lot of strength. I'm still kind of weak and hanging in. But, Paulie was a doll and ran the gear out to me yesterday and dropped it off and got me all set up. And so, I'm going to be here. I
wanted to ask you, because I know you like coming into work, but recently you've been complaining a lot about your chair not being comfortable here. And I'm watching you in your, I guess, home office there, your guitars, but you've got that, it looks like a nice leather chair. Like, maybe you should just bring that into work or something with you.
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
just roll that in. It'll be your special chair.
Because this one's not the greatest either. It's not the great. It's not. But I'm. This will do in a pinch, right? This will do in a pinch. But being in the home, getting up and now what my plan was, I was going to get up at 5, which would have been like an extra, which would have been an extra 45 minutes. And I told you my wife was cooking bacon at 3 a.m. It woke me up, and I'm still nauseous thinking about it. It does smell like a truck stop in here for sure still. And
in the best way.
So that woke me up, and I've been up since 3. So I'm a little tired, but I'm making it, and it's not the worst thing ever to be able to broadcast from home for a couple of days. I like being in the studio, but this will do. This is fine.
It helps that we can see you now with our YouTube stream, and like I can still look you kind of in the eye when I'm talking to you. In the beginning, when we would do a remote show and you were at Super Bowl Radio Row and we were back at the studio,
it was terrible.
You just had no idea when or where to talk. It was very awkward. It's gotten a lot easier over the years.
Yeah, it has. So it's nice to be here. And at the home base. Now, it's also, you're getting a live look, Ben, into the war room, because that's what this office is today. For the rest of the day. It's the war room.
Draft day.
Because today is draft day for your old pal Woodsy and his minor B team.
You were Kevin Costner on draft day today, getting ready for your pick.
I fancy myself more of AJ Preller. I'm trying to build
a
roster. Good morning, AJ. And I would have loved some tips from AJ had we been able to talk to him this week. But it's a huge day. It's my first draft ever. I'm in there with some people that have done it before. They're obviously going to try to take advantage of me. Also, it's going to help them that I haven't seen one of these children at all. Was not at the assessments. I was at fantasy camp. So I'm drafting a team. It would be like AJ Preller just drafting by name. Like, this name sounds cool. I'll do that. Cobb Hightower, Cash Mayfield,
Homer Bush.
Comer Bush, Kavaris Tears. Like, I don't know. I've never seen him play, but I like the name. That's literally what I'm doing tonight. And you should see. So I'm in a text thread with all the minor B managers, and you should see already the politicking and butthurtedness that's going on about some things that are happening already. We have not even set foot into the room yet. And, you know, they say, I don't like the saying, behind every good man, there's a good woman. I like the saying, next to every good man, there's a good woman. And my missus, I was given some notes from a couple of different coaches that were there. My missus has taken it upon herself to do an extensive amount of research and cross-reference all of the different notes from the two coaches I got them from, highlighting, you know, asking my son what he knows. You go to school with this kid, you ever see him throw? What's it look like? And so, yeah, I'm really excited / nervous for tonight's big draft. Now, they say it's going to go from 6 to 8, which is the funniest thing I've ever heard in my life. It's going to go. This thing's going until 10 o'clock. I'm fully convinced I'm not leaving there till 10. I think 12 rounds, 13 rounds, something like that, a snake draft. And I believe there's
snake draft.
And I believe there's 12 teams. I do not know the name of my team. We will draft that. We will also draft the order.
Oh, you get to draft the name of your team as well.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you want to hear the
I'd like to know some of the choices. This is fascinating.
Okay, so you guys vamp for a second, and I'm going to find the names of the teams. Shouldn't take me long.
Are they the minor league teams? Are they major league teams? Are they okay?
Okay, so here we go. I can choose from. Now, again, they're going to pick this first, I believe, right? They're
Team
going to
names
say
first.
Team names first would be my guess. Angels, Braves, Brewers, Diamondbacks, Giants, Mariners, Marlins, Mets, Rockies, Royals, Tigers, Nationals, Pirates.
So no Padres because you can't play
no
favorites.
Padres, right? No Dodgers.
You would have taken Rangers if it was available for Skip Schumacher,
Skip.
but that's not available.
So
you have some Marlins gear from Skip already, so that one seems like a logical place for you to go.
I do, but I feel that they did him dirty, so I'm out. And I don't like their
I don't think they did him that dirty.
I mean, no, they didn't, but he's not there anymore.
He's not.
So obviously I'm going to pass on the Diamondbacks and the Giants and the Rockies.
Correct.
Okay. I have always really, this is before Paul Skeens, guys, but I've always loved the Pirates uniforms. Always.
I love Paul Skeens.
I was a Pirate in Little League when I was 11, and that was fun.
Yep.
Yeah, so I like the unis. Guy in the chat asked, did they not have assessments to see everyone's talent? They did. I just missed them. I was at fantasy camp, so I didn't get to see any of these kids try out at all. So I think in order, Benny, I really like the Pirates. I like the Royals. I like the Mariners. I like the Brewers. And I like the Angels. I would take any or all of those, which means I'm going to be stuck guaranteed with the Rockies. I can almost promise you tomorrow I will be the new manager of the minor B Rockies. Now, somebody in the chat also said, guys, it's Little League Baseball, for God's sakes. And I've been racking my brain for a better way to do this. You know, I don't know that there is one other than you take, let's say there's 700 kids. And you put their names into a computer and you spit them out, and this is your team. Is that a better way than actually going into draft?
Yeah, I would actually probably say yes. I think at that level, I mean, are we really drafting for talent and drafting for wins? I don't think you are.
Do you get, well, listen, based on some of the responses I've already seen from some of the coaches in there, I think these guys are going to be playing to win, you know, and I'm going to be playing to develop.
Then they shouldn't be
and have
coaching
fun.
At that level.
Well, fair.
Because it's not about winning or losing.
No, it's really not. It's really not. You know, as I said before, my goal is to get every one of these kids to sign up for Little League next year. Right? That's my ultimate goal, and want them to have a blast. Now, nobody wants to go 0-16. You know, nobody wants to be. My son certainly isn't one of them, and I'm not one of them. But that said, it's a fine line. Ben, do you remember Little League? Did they draft? Have they always drafted? I just thought I was stuck on a team.
Yeah, I remember it more as they just kind of randomly assigned, but maybe there was stuff that our dads knew that we didn't know that was going on behind the scenes.
I think you could make some deals, like make some moves to get, these two best friends on a team together,
right,
or brothers or whatever. Like,
brothers is no brainer.
There's a way around it, but I do think it was probably pretty much just like, here's your team.
I feel that it was that way too, but the one thing they want to not do, because this was happening as well. So let's say my son's a good player. Let's say me and 3 other dads of good players. Hey, we're all going to coach together. Well, there's your 4 great players. There's your infield right there. So they wanted to curtail that, which makes a lot of sense. But the computer generated. The computer-generated idea of like, here's your team, it saves everybody a lot of time and trouble and hassle.
I think to me, the error is in the assessments, because at this level, you don't need to assess to see who has the best arm or who can swing the bat or, field a ground ball. The only assessment that matters, which one of you kids can pay attention for 3 minutes straight. And if you had a team, if you could just draft,
I thought you were going to say something totally different.
If you could just draft 12 kids who had the ability to pay attention for about 3 straight minutes, you'd come out golden in your draft. That's all. Like a pay attention draft is what you're looking for.
Well, and so I've already, again, knowing that it's my first one, I'm probably going to get a little taken advantage of, and that's fine. I also have a massive ego that says, give me the project. Give me the project. I want to make him fall in love with baseball, him or her. I want to make them fall in love with baseball, and I want them to improve throughout the season. I've actually done that with kids, and that makes me very happy. That makes me feel like I did my job. Like, my kid is going to be into it. I know that. He's a lifer like me. But the kid that's maybe on the fence, that's the one. Give me that project. I'll push him over. I want to push him over the top and have them come back and see some improvement. That's the one. That's what makes coaching, what it's all about. But I'm a little nervous about going into tonight because you guys, know me. I'm not going to be the psycho. The thing that's going to make me psycho is when 2 dads are arguing about a player for 20 minutes. That's what's going to make me lose my mind. Yeah. That's what's going to make me go, guys, what are we doing? They're 8. Like at the end of the day, we're not putting together teams for the WBC here. Right? So why are we arguing about a kid for 20 minutes and we're wasting time? That's, I think, going to be the toughest challenge for me, is just biting my tongue and, listening to the other stuff. Because if the group chat's any indication, I'm in for a long night. And I'm excited to talk about it tomorrow.
Take comfort in the knowledge that just like every other draft, just like every A.J. Preller draft, every NFL draft, you won't know at the end of the night how you did, because that won't be determined until later. So you're going to finish this day. You'll have a team. You won't really know if you have a good team or not. That'll be determined later on in practice, and hopefully partly by how you coach them and coach them up. And that's the job that you have in front of you. So don't worry too much about the draft.
No, I'm not. I'm honestly not worried too much about it. I was told to, hey, don't draft buddies. And I'm sitting here going, look, it's not necessarily buddies. I want to draft kids who I know their parents, and their parents are good people who will let me coach their kid. That's really the ultimate pick for me. Is I know this kid. He may not be the best. His parents rule. His parents are incredible, and his parents will let me coach them. And they're not going to stick their beak in, and that to me. Yeah, I know him. Bo's played with him before, but that's what I really want, is kids I know that have some level of skill and love for the game, and their parents are rad. That's the thing I really care the most about. Building a good, Benny, I'm installing a culture. Day one. That's what I'm trying to do. Install the culture of this team, probably the Rockies.
I wonder if rad parents is more of a middle round selection, or if you need to go early for the rad parents and let the other coaches take the impressive looking players first while you go for the rad parents.
Yeah, that's what I'm going to try to do, man. I'm going to try. I may be drafting parents more than kids tonight, to be honest with you. So we'll let you guys know tomorrow how it goes.
I don't have kids. I've been out of the Little League circuit for 25 years or whatever. I just assumed all these Little League drafts were just a bunch of dudes going, all right, who's got the hottest mom? Yeah, I want that kid.
I believe there's some of that.
I'm sure there is
as well, Paulie. And I'll say it's on the list. It's on the list.
Maybe AJ Preller. Maybe that's part of his strategy. He's like, look, this kid, he's he's an okay player. He's definitely going to be a project, but have you seen his mom?
Yeah, 100%, man. Fridgewater, thank you. I appreciate that vote of confidence. Says coaching 8-year-olds and focusing solely on winning is the worst type of coaches. You want to win, but development is what it's all about. Woods definitely has the right mindset. That's the mindset I'm going to stay in because I just want these dudes to have the time of their lives out there because there's no better game. There's just no better game than this one. So I'm excited, nervous about the draft. Thanks to my wife for helping me out. She goes, will you wear an earpiece so I can hear everything that's going on? I said, no. I said, I think that's frowned upon. But she really wants to be there with me. I wish she was actually my assistant coach, but she's got me dialed in. So I'm going to spend the afternoon looking over these notes and figuring it all out. But I'm excited, man. Very excited about it.
Just quickly, while we're on youth sports, you haven't been on the show all week. So how fun was it to see Taylor play basketball? Different sport.
Benny, I didn't even fill you in on
Not
this,
really, no.
So, Taylor, Bo's got all of his things. He's got baseball, he's got football, he's got soccer, he's got basketball. Taylor played some t-ball and was into it, but not like Bo was. Something has clicked in his brain. He's found a little basketball team that he has fallen in love with. Kids from a completely different school. He knows one kid on the team, shows up to practice. He's nervous a few weeks ago. Everyone's like, oh, man, he's a little G, dude. He's a little pest on defense. And so I'm texting Paulie on Saturday. First time I got to see him play. You guys, he scored 10 points in the game. He made five baskets. 5 buckets.
I've seen youth basketball games that don't have 5 baskets the entire game.
Yeah. Dude, they won 18-8. He scored 10 buckets or 10 points, 5 buckets. He had a block, he had an assist, and he had 4 rebounds. It was like watching your son be born into something. Like he was like, oh, this is my thing. So I'm a basketball player now. And just the confidence, the hustle, all of it. I'm like, oh my, it was such a cool thing to see. And after we get done, we go to breakfast. He goes, Dad, do you think Uncle Paulie can come watch me play? I was like, here, say this into a video.
He did.
And he did. I sent it to Paulie. Paulie's like, all right, let me know when the next game is. It was unbelievable. He does not want you at his games, man, but he does want Uncle Paulie there.
Ben and Woods can stay home.
Yeah, Ben and Woods can stay home. Exactly. But it was really sweet.
All right, we got to take a quick time out here. When we come back, Throwback Thursday, we'll play a game of real or fake, just like we did yesterday. Try to qualify another Tier 1 for the trip to Las Vegas to see Sammy Hagar. If you want to call in now, 833-288-0973. Be our contestant next at 833-288-0973. Ben and Woods continuing after traffic on 97.3 The Fan.
Well, first, gang, let me tell you, Happy New Year to you. I know it's a little bit delayed, but I haven't talked about EcoWater at all this year. So it's a new year, new you, trying to get you guys to be as healthy as you possibly can. And your water, what you're putting in your body every day, is it's of utmost importance. We've got the EcoWater SoCal system in this very home in which I sit right now. One of the smartest, most practical upgrades I've ever made for my family. These guys were the first with remote monitoring, the first with Wi-Fi and leak detection, the first with whole home automatic cutoffs that can stop a leak before it becomes a disaster. And again, that's not just innovation, that's protection you can actually see and control. They've got the most advanced technology in water treatment for your family and business. Not just the first in the industry, the most advanced today. They've been doing this since 1925. And nearly a century later, still leading the way. So hard water, not just rough on your skin. It destroys your plumbing, your appliances, your water heater. So, again, the protection's great, but it's about water, better water for everything you use it for. Skin feels better. Coffee tastes better. I'm drinking more water than I ever have. And so you could get it, too. Try the Soft Life and alkaline water now, just $9.95 a month, 760-350-3338. Or go to ecowatersocal.com. Let them know Woodsy sent you. Not everything in life should be hard, especially your water. Keeping it soft since 1925.
Hey, player, this is all yours. This room with this view. This speakeasy with this cocktail. Hey, could you make that too? The spa with this. Ah. And this pool on this roof. This is all for you. The all-new Hamul Casino Resort, now open.
Broadcasting live from the Bill House Studios, we know how. Big day for Woods, obviously. It's his draft day. Big day for the Padres as well, more symbolically than anything else. You know, today is Truck Day at Petco Park.
Yeah, buddy.
TJ Laidlaw, the equipment manager, loads up a couple of big old trucks in the loading dock at Petco Park and sends them off to Peoria, Arizona with all the equipment that they'll need for spring training. And there is a ton of it. And
Will
it's
you be down there?
I am going down there right after the show. It's a really it's a made-for-TV photo op event.
Every news anchor in San Diego will be down there loading the truck, or getting video.
I
of the
know
trucks.
It's not a groundbreaking story, but it's an easy win. Everybody likes to see signs that spring is right around the corner, and this is a big one. Knowing that trucks are on their way to Arizona means spring training can't be far away, and it's not. Pitchers and catchers report in just over 2 weeks, right after the Super Bowl, I believe. So we are very close to the start of spring training.
God, I love it. I love it so much. I know it's I think there's a lot of fan bases right now. I'm hearing it from some of my closest friends that are diehard baseball fans. And I got people texting me going, I'm just not excited about the season. And I think, we've talked about it a little bit in the offseason. I don't share that sentiment. I feel, obviously, you do feel like it's an uphill battle, certainly, to win a World Series, because it is. It's massively difficult, which we have never won one.
If the Dodgers didn't exist, it's still an uphill battle.
Yeah.
The odds are so stacked against you, and now you have 29 teams chasing one other team, and
yeah, man.
Also looking at a potential lockout. I mean, I get it. I totally get it.
But I don't share that sentiment. I don't think I'll ever share that sentiment.
I don't even really understand that sentiment. I mean, why wouldn't you be excited about an upcoming season in which the Padres are going to have many star players and will be picked by most experts to at least be a strong playoff contender, even if, no one's going to pick them to beat the Dodgers in the NL West. They'll still be right there with all the other wild card combatants in the National League going for a playoff spot. What more do we really want?
Yeah, I mean, I'm fired up. I'm fired up for the season, but I'm always fired up for the season. So take what I say with a grain of salt. But
There's a lot of uncertainty, though, and not just in baseball, but with the Padres in particular, there's a lot of uncertainty. So I do. Again, I get it. I don't totally feel the same way, but I certainly get it. Like, if you're slightly turned off right now by baseball, I understand.
I mean, to me,
my hope is that our team and the players on it, use that as motivation, right? And I think when you say, well, we got no chance, that lets these multi-millionaires off the hook. And I don't believe in that either. I really don't. I don't believe in letting those guys off the hook, because they're just men, just like you are. They're just men. They put on their pants one leg at a time, except for maybe Shohei. He may have somebody that dresses him. Or sleeps in his uniform, as the national media would allow you to believe. I look at it as, I hope our guys are like, good, like, keep adding pieces. We want to kick your ass up and down the diamond, and I hope they come out with that mentality.
I mean, to me, I've spent 50 years as a somewhat realistic Padres fan, with many going into the year not that optimistic about the team's chances. Other years, in recent years, more optimistic, but cautiously about the team's chances. There's only been one year in my Padres entire fandom I was absolutely certain the team was going to cruise to the playoffs. 2023.
Correct.
That's the only year that I've ever gone in as a supremely confident Padres fan, and it didn't work out. 1998, they might have a good team this year. Yeah, they went to the World Series. Absolutely. It worked out great. But other than 2023, I've never been supremely confident, but this year I would say I'm definitely in my upper, 10, 15% of all Padres years I've ever been excited about going into this year again.
Yeah, 100%, man. And 2023, I don't know that I ever did as much chest beating as I did in 2023. Honestly, we've been a show for 8 years. And I don't think I've ever beat my chest more than at the beginning of 2023. And how did that work out?
Never again.
It changed me. You know what it did? That gave me wisdom. It gave me wisdom is what it did. I didn't lose. I learned. I learned a lot about how to conduct myself after 2023. Because you want to talk about a disappointment. That was up there with life's great disappointments, the year 2023.
It really was.
Sure.
All right, we've waited a little long, but let's get to it. It is time to play today's game of Real or Fake.
Some are here for the compelling sports talk with Ben and Woods. You can go plow through another donut. It's time for Real or Fake on 97.3 The Fan. Tell the people what they'll win today.
David can win an entry into our grand prize drawing, 2 tickets to Sammy Hagar at Dolby Live at Park MGM, a 2-night stay at Park MGM Las Vegas, and a $100 gas card. Get your tickets for Sammy Hagar's residency at Park MGM at Ticketmaster.com. David, good morning. How are you?
Good morning. Doing well.
All right, you ready to play a little Real or Fake? It is brought to you by Bay Alarm Security and Fire Alarms. For every business, we got you.
Oh, I'm ready.
All right, let's see. Here is today's category. And again, you need to get 4 out of 7 right. You can use Woods as your phone a friend. They just won a national championship in football, so it's time to give the state of Indiana its due. Indiana has 17 officially designated state symbols. Today on Real or Fake, I will give you a symbol. You tell me if it's a real Indiana state symbol or a fake I've made up for our game. Ready to play, David?
All right, I'm ready.
All right, here we go. Round 1. The official Indiana state vegetable is the rutabaga. Real or fake, David?
Rutabaga. I'm going to go real.
That one is fake.
It's got to be corn, right?
I don't know. I don't think they have an official state vegetable. I just made that up. I don't even know rutabaga is more of a tuber than a vegetable. That's okay. We're just getting started.
Tuber.
All right, let's go. Round number 2. The official Indiana state horse is the Dutch warm blood. Real or fake, David?
I'm going to say real.
You're going to be wrong again. All right, we're going to a slow start. That's okay.
Get on track.
All right, there we go. Round number 3, David. Let's get on track. You can use Woods because he knows tons about Indiana. You've been to Indiana. I know you have. The official Indiana state bird is the northern cardinal. Real or fake, David?
I'm going real.
There we go. We're on the board. Let's get you back even. Round number 4. The official Indiana state fossil is the mastodon.
They have state fossils?
They may not. We'll find out in just a second. Real or fake, David?
Let's go real.
It is real. I believe one of their college mascots is also the mastodons. They love their mastodon fossils in Indiana. All right, we're back to even here. Let's go to round number 5. The official Indiana State firearm is the Grouseland rifle. Real or fake?
State Farm. Real.
Yeah. I don't know how I could have made that one up. So you are now one away from a 4 straight comeback victory. The official Indiana State snack is popcorn. Real or fake?
I'm going real.
Boom! What a comeback!
What a comeback!
Oh,
Didn't even ask Woods for any help. You were just dying to chime in there, and you didn't get a chance to. Thank you, David. Stay on the line. Paulie will get your information. Never knew there was so much to know about Indiana.
God, I lived there and I didn't know any of that. So,
Woods, the official Indiana State tomato is the red Chadwick cherry.
oh, that's real.
That's fake.
All right.
All right. Let's take a quick timeout. We still have some tickets to James Taylor to give away later. If you're interested in prizes, coming to the Rady Shell. Gave some yesterday. We'll have some more tomorrow as well. Got some more baseball to talk about, some introductory news conferences, including Kyle Tucker changing his number with the Los Angeles Dodgers. We'll get to all of that coming up after a quick timeout with Ben Woods on San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan. First, though, as we get ready for championship weekend, Prize Picks is the place for your daily fantasy. Watching football this weekend and dropping, I believe, at noon today. Check out the discounted square where Sam Darnold needs just 1/2 of one passing yard to get you a win on Sunday. That is the start of a winning lineup for you at Prize Picks. And all you need is 2 to win at Prize Picks. You're picking between 2 and 6 players in your daily fantasy lineup with a chance to win real money up to 2,000 times your cash with Prize Picks. It's fun, it's easy to play, and it's easy to get started. All you have to do is download the Prize Picks app and use the code KWFN to get $50 in lineups when you play your first $5 lineup. That's code KWFN to get $50 in lineups when you play your first $5 lineup at Prize Picks. And if you're not ready to wait all weekend for football, plenty of basketball, pro, college, every single night. There's hockey if you're watching hockey as well. You're just picking against the numbers more or less on stat projections like points, rebounds, assists, touchdowns, rushing yards, passing yards, and the like. It's safe and easy to use. I've put in money. I've taken money out. Venmo, Apple Pay, MasterCard, lots of different ways to do it. Just make sure, use that code KWFN. Take advantage of the $50 in lineups at Prize Picks, where it's good to be right. Must be present in certain states. Visit prizepicks.com for details.
He just here. I'll show you a little. Just a little.
Please don't.
Just a little bit. What hurts on you?
Nothing at all.
A little bit.
Not that now.
So let's say
whatever you're about to touch is the only thing.
Let's say
It's gonna hurt.
Right?
All right, yeah.
Okay.
Pretend your knee hurts.
Pretend your knee.
It's going to in a second.
Right here.
Oh, that is not pleasant.
Hey, player, this is all yours. This room with this view. This speakeasy with this cocktail. Hey, could you make that too? The spa with this. Ah. And this pool on this roof. This is all for you. The all-new Hamul Casino Resort, now open.
Woods appear on the David P. Shapiro fan hotline. David P. Shapiro, criminal defense attorneys helping good people regain control of their future when charged with a crime since 2010. Visit davidpshapirolaw.com. A lot of people thought the Dodgers were committing another baseball crime when they saw details of Kyle Tucker's contract yesterday. Now, there may be some financial shenanigans there, but it doesn't, I think, have anything to do with baseball's luxury tax or deferred money. We will get to that after a check of traffic on 97.3 The Fan.
From the 855 Get Ross Traffic Center, protecting San Diego after accidents or injury, here's Kelly Danick.
Traffic is brought to you by local and veteran-owned Manny Sedano Ford and Lincoln. Got a few things to mention here, guys. One of them is this stalled vehicle eastbound 8 before Hotel Circle. It's in the center divide. Westbound King Freeway crashed right at 30th Street off-ramp. And southbound at 5 before Carmel Valley Road, there is reports of a tent in the fast lane. Why wait? Sedano Ford and Lincoln is clearing the lot with $1 down on 2025 Fords. Drive the F-150 STX for $469 a month or the Bronco Big Bend for just $477. See them in La Mesa today. For more details about these offers, head to SedanoFord.com. I'm Kelly Danick with Ben & Wood, San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan.
When the Dodgers signed Kyle Tucker to the largest annual average value contract in the history of Major League Baseball, Woods, and then you find out in the first year of that record deal, Kyle Tucker will make the grand sum of $1 million, you feel like there's something hinky happening. Like, what's going on?
Here's what we'll do. We'll give you $1 million.
What are the Dodgers doing to circumvent the system this time? I believe, though, that this is more about Kyle Tucker circumventing the taxation system. He is getting $64 million in signing bonus money that will apparently be taxed in his home state of Florida on 0% state taxes rather than earning it. And he'll be taxed $1 million in his employment state of California. So he will save an immeasurable amount of money instead of getting that as salary as signing bonus. Now, I know the state of California has looked into ways to poke holes into this because it definitely seems like a devious end around. But in this case, the contract was designed not to necessarily change the Dodgers' economics in any way. It was simply designed to help Kyle Tucker avoid paying a bunch of taxes in his new state of California.
Sure. As I said earlier, it's not tax evasion, it's tax avoidance. And man, nice to be able to do that for a player. I'm sure the player very much appreciates that, right? Because I think that would make the difference. Like, hey, man, I'd love to come play for you, but your state taxes are through the roof. We all pay taxes. I saw mine, last week. I wanted to die when I saw what I actually pay on my paycheck. I wanted to die, but then I looked outside my window and I go, all right, relax, look where you live. It comes with a cost, certainly, to live here. But not every team, I think, is able to do that, Benny, pay that much up front, but they obviously have money in the coffers. They're able to do that. So, yeah, I mean, I think, the way that he is going to handle his business, as long as he's comfortable with that, and I can't imagine why he wouldn't be, I think that's a nice way for the Dodgers to take care of the player and the player to manipulate and game the system, which is really what it's all about.
In other Kyle Tucker news, Dave Roberts, I think, missed an opportunity to make a nice little chunk of change by giving up his number 30 to Kyle Tucker, who had worn 30 before. But instead, Tucker will wear number 23 with the Dodgers because apparently he's a giant Michael Brantley fan who wore the number with the Astros, his former teammate. Didn't know that he was such a big fan of Michael Brantley, but that's why he said he chose number 23. Not going to make Dave Roberts change his number 30, which is worn in honor of Maury Wills, his mentor. So he'll change the number for playing for the Los Angeles Dodgers. And then, I don't know, I mean, he said what everybody else says when they sign with a two-time defending World Series champion, wants to go play in a place where he feels like he's got a chance to win a World Series. And if that is true, he probably picked a pretty good spot. I would imagine the Dodgers will have a decent chance to win the World Series this year.
I think the thing that is driving most Dodger fans that I know at least crazy is this. This is going to hurt some feelings out there, and I would say I'm sorry, but you guys have enough salve to rub all over this sick burn that I'm about to give you. Is that I just don't know, and tell me if you agree or disagree. I just don't know how many people are going to respect them winning a World Series now. Does that make sense to you? Like
a three-peat?
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's by loading your team with mercenaries, and going out and winning it. I mean, we all saw what happened to Kevin Durant. His career, that guy still gets that grief all the time, right? Like that happens all the time.
If you can't beat him, join him.
Join him. Yeah. So like that is driving, I think, a lot of the Dodger fans online, at least, again, the ones that I see, the ones that I follow, the ones I'm actually friendly with. I think that's what's bugging them the most is that, people are like, oh, okay. Like I was so unmoved by the Kyle Tucker signing. I just kind of rolled my eyes and went, okay.
Tile Cucker, by the way.
Tile Cucker, by the way. Yes. I think I was just unmoved by it. I went, okay, they went and got another superstar and probably did some money manipulation. And this is where we're at right now in the game of baseball. But I just don't know how much, you look up and down the starting rotation. It's just mercenary. You look at the lineup, mercenary. You still got to win the games. They're very difficult to do. They're very hard to win. But I just, will you get the same respect as other dynasties have gotten? I don't know. I fully expect them to win the World Series again next year. Fully expect it. Kind of embarrassing if you don't, So I think it is sticking in their craw a little bit right now that they're not getting the respect that they deserve. We all know they've played that role to Oscar award winning, performances every single year. They are the underdogs. Nobody believed in us. But now it's just getting harder and harder to spin that narrative.
When I heard you had a Dodgers hot take, I thought, all right, this will be entertaining, but will I really agree with it? And in this case, I actually agree with you 100%. The Dodgers have put themselves in a bit of a no-win situation. If they win the World Series, everyone says, of course you should win the World Series. It would be a huge disappointment and failure if you didn't at this point. And that is a really kind of tough place to be going into the season. It is.
Now It's cool. It's fun. If you're a fan, you get to see the best players and the best, the best team. And, but
should they be concerned about that? Like fans?
No.
I don't think they should. I mean, I don't know that Patriots fans cared at all when everyone's like, well, of course, you guys are just going to win the division and march to the Super Bowl every single year.
But it's different. In the case of the Patriots, you had a superstar, which Shohei did this. He said, give me deferred money so that you can build a team around me, just like Tom Brady did, right? Mm-hmm. And I don't know that everybody outside of the Patriots, do you think everybody outside of the Patriots was like, oh, man, these guys are so good? I tip my hat to them. No, they hated the Patriots. They looked for every little thing.
But they could at least say the Patriots were spending the exact same amount on their roster as every other team. So you had to acknowledge.
Yeah.
Patriots have done it smarter. You can say, Tom Brady took a little less money. All right, so they had a little more wiggle room for a player somewhere on their roster.
Correct.
But
still got to go out.
But Belichick, and they did it smartly enough under those rules. With the Dodgers, you always go, all right, you've already spent at least 24 teams into oblivion. So you're really competing with 5 or 6 other teams for the World Series, and you're well ahead of those teams as well. If you don't win, you have massively failed. Honestly, letting the Blue Jays get as close as you did last year was a bit of a failure by the Dodgers. Is it not?
Crazy.
I mean, is it not a tiny failure for the Dodgers to have let the Blue Jays almost rip away a World Series that they had no business losing?
I don't know. I mean, they won. It doesn't matter.
They won. It doesn't matter, but I just knew it. I just knew it when I was watching the game. I go, Friedman's ego and not wanting to trade prospects at the deadline for some bullpen help is going to destroy this team. And it almost did. But again, the bullpen did it for him the year before. The starters did it for him again this year. Or last year and won the World Series. And, you look at it and you just go, holy cow. I mean, I don't want to say luck. Those guys are supremely talented and smart, but, it shouldn't have worked. And it did twice. It should not have worked. You can't win a World Series with 2 starters. Can't we? You can't win a World Series with nobody in the bullpen you can count on. Can't we? They did it. Both years, different strategies.
In the long term, history will look back and we'll go, wow, what a great era for the Dodgers. That was a great team, great players, stars, superstars. The present is going to be harsher in how it was kind of all put together under the economic system of baseball right now. But in the time, there were plenty of Yankees haters in the late 90s, early 2000s about the evil empire and, outspending teams and just putting a star after star at every position. But when we look back, it was pretty cool what the Yankees did. I'm sorry it came at the expense of the Padres in 1998, but that was an amazing team that they put together in similar fashion to what the Dodgers are doing now.
Sure.
All right, we've got 1 hour to go. Paulie's got some headlines, including the Oscar noms are out this morning. Have we heard of any of the movies that are nominated for an Oscar this
definitely
year?
One.
We'll find out coming up next year on 97.3 The Fan. Final hour of Ben and Woods all together here on a Thursday. Finally got it done. Well, kind of. Not physically all together. You still could potentially be contagious, but you look better.
Yes. I feel much better.
Sound good.
Much better.
Yeah, I'm assuming tomorrow
sound much better.
is also scheduled to be a home studio appearance, and then maybe Monday we'll get you back here in studio.
Monday should be good to go back in the studio. Hopefully at least I'm never going to be 100% again. I know that at 50 years old, but I think
you feel good enough to do the show right now, but you're probably still asymptomatic, and probably not a good idea to have you in the studio and talking into the microphones and all that.
Yep.
So it made sense.
Well, if you
better safe than sorry.
If you don't make it back, I have been thinking about a potential replacement if I did need to replace you, because one of my former radio co-hosts could soon be available again. Haven't worked with him in a long time, but I saw the reports yesterday that Steve Kerr is likely coaching his last season with the Golden State Warriors. So
you're kidding.
I thought maybe we bring him back, or maybe we add him to
just add him
to the show. Ben and Woods and Steve Kerr. Maybe Ben and Woods and Paul and Steve Kerr. We can get everybody into the new title of the show.
Ben Woods and Kerr and Paul has got a ring to it.
BWKP. Yeah, we'll have to workshop that.
What? Why is he retiring or?
According to the chatter from his assistants, it just feels like maybe the course has been run up there at Golden State. Obviously Steph's at the end of his career. There's talk about maybe he even getting traded to contender with Jimmy Butler now out for the season. Their chances are pretty much nil of making any noise in the playoffs, and all great runs come to an end at some point, and it looks like this
Draymond Green looks like he's 50 years old.
I mean, it looks like this current iteration of the Warriors, they're ready to start over again, and maybe Steve Kerr is like, okay, we had our run, but it's time for someone else to take their shot as the head coach of the Golden State Warriors.
Everything must come to an end. Yeah. That's one of the most impressive runs in sports history, honestly. The run that the Warriors went on. I mean, they beat the Bulls 72-10 record in the regular season, however many years ago. The dominance of Steph Curry, it was kind of fun. I didn't like them per se, but it was fun to sit back and look at it after the fact and go, kind of glad I got to witness some of that.
Joe Lacob owns the Warriors, right?
He does.
He's been rumored to be interested in the Padres, and I think Joe Lacob would like to throw his energies into getting a couple of titles for his baseball team down here in San Diego. That would be maybe a new project for him. But I don't know. Does that make it less, since he's going to have to do almost an entire rebuild of the Warriors franchise? He's like, I can't do two rebuilds, not rebuilds, but I can't I can't do a full rebuild and then try to figure out what's going on down in San Diego. Does that work against us? I
don't know. I mean, it's always going to be, you always have to be able to defer. If you are the owner of a professional sports team, look at Stan Kroenke, who Justice for I Need Money wants. Yeah, I mean, he owns 5 or 6 successful professional sports franchises.
Correct.
He's not the one doing every decision, but if you hire the right people, and by the way, Steve Kerr, just a phenomenal person. I don't know if he'd love this show. He comes in and all right, let's talk some basketball. I go, maybe once or twice a week at most. We're going to talk hoops. No. You're just going to have to start learning to talk about what we talk about, Steve.
But the interesting thing, I mean, to get all the stories from Steve Kerr, and I just watched again, I don't know what it is about me when I'm sick. I watched the Magic and Bird documentary. I watched the Jordan documentary again. I watched all I want to do is watch basketball stuff when I'm laying there dying. I don't know why. I watched parts of Winning Time again. That's so good. But I was watching all of that going, God, Steve Kerr was a total G when he was in the league. He was just a total badass.
Always was, always will be.
Yeah, and of course that is the one guy I would defer, Benny. I totally get it.
All right, before we do anything else, it's time to announce today's biggest fan. If you hear your name called, you'll have 10 minutes to call us back at 833-288-0973 and qualify for the grand prize. Of course, it's 20 tickets for you and your friends for a night in our Odyssey Suite at a Padres game this season at Petco Park, catered by Spiro's Mediterranean Cuisine. And this morning's biggest fan is Darlene Bishop from San Diego. Darlene Bishop from San Diego Call us now at 833-288-0973. For everybody else, register your name for the biggest fan at 973thefansd.com/biggest fan. As we look for Darlene's call, Paulie's going to give us some headlines here in the Rindle Report.
And get things started here with our today's edition of the Rindle Report.
Now tuned into the greatest.
Welcome to the Rindle Report with Paul Rindle.
Hi, Paul. All right.
2 stories from the world of sports that we haven't gotten to yet.
We'll start off in Major League Baseball.
And 1 story that you didn't know you needed.
Are you laughing, biatch?
It's the Rindle Report
Hey, Paul, how you doing?
Okay, how are you?
on 97.3 The Fan.
Are you ready to bless the mood? I need some help, please.
That was good.
Can I get a yeah? Oh, yeah.
All right.
All right. All right. Let's see, gentlemen, where to start. We'll start in a little football here. We haven't gotten to this story yet. Nothing big, but the NFL MVP finalists were announced yesterday. We've got 5 players, 4 of which are quarterbacks. But I want to start with Christian McCaffrey. He's actually the first player to be a finalist for 3 NFL awards in the same year. So he's obviously in the running for NFL MVP.
Sure.
He's also a finalist for Offensive Player of the Year.
Obviously.
And a finalist for Comeback Player of the Year.
Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
which makes sense. I mean, he was very impressive.
No surprises, but no one's ever had the all three of those in
yeah,
the same year. Huh?
Exactly.
Okay.
So joining
The
McCaffrey in the MVP award, at least, will be Josh Allen, Trevor Lawrence, Drake May, and Matthew Stafford. Any front runner in your mind of those 5?
For MVP?
NFL MVP. McCaffrey,
give me the
Allen,
names.
Lawrence. McCaffrey, Josh Allen, Trevor Lawrence, Drake May, Matthew Stafford.
Okay, here's my
God.
breakdown. Josh Allen is the best player of that group, but he won't win it.
Correct.
Matthew Stafford is the most critical to his team's success and probably deserves it the most, but he won't win it.
Do we know these were voted on already?
Because they are voted on by writers who love interesting different stories,
No,
which
but-
is why Drake May will win it.
Is it they voted
Jeff, I was
before
gonna
the
say Drake
playoffs
May.
started?
Yeah.
You say Drake May was?
I think Drake May will
Yeah,
win.
he's the most valuable, right?
I don't know that he's really the most valuable. They played such an easy schedule. If you put Matt Stafford as quarterback of the New England Patriots, do you
Yeah,
think they're not
he could
in the
win it.
AFC Championship game? They're absolutely in the AFC Championship game.
What about Trevor
Probably,
Lawrence then?
probably easily. Trevor
I
Lawrence
think
is
Stafford's the favorite.
I don't
Is
know.
he? Yeah.
I think
What about Trevor Lawrence?
I think Stafford deserves it. I think May might
Yeah.
win it, though, because it's voted on by human being writers who just love a good kind of story. And the Patriots are a good story this year with Drake May.
They are.
All right, we'll move on because
Hold on. Before we do, let me just say
yeah.
hi to Darlene. Are you there?
Yes, sir, I am.
No, you did it. You called in as our biggest fan this morning. Congratulations, ma'am. You are in the running for our grand prize drawing. Thank you for listening to 97.3 The Fan.
Thank you. Thank you, sir. And I'll sure keep everything crossed. My eyes, my legs, and everything else.
You know, please do. We'll let you know if
Oh,
you
all
win
right.
at the end of the
Okay.
contest.
I like it.
All right.
Thank you, guys. Have a wonderful day.
Thank you.
Thank you,
calling in.
Darlene.
That was unexpected. I loved that.
That was incredible.
All right. Okay, we'll move on. So I wanted to just touch on the NFL there before we moved on to this story because I think we could spend a little bit more time here on this one. Now, I think people probably think it's played out at this point. For whatever reason, it still makes me laugh when we put gate at the end of anything, controversial. We had deflate gate, spy gate, fart gate,
Haircut gate for Ben.
gate,
Haircut gate.
chairman gate. We've actually Ben's literal gate. We've actually talked about that as well. This one might be the most bizarre. This falls into the same category as, remember, like the fish weighing scandal from a couple of years ago that just rocked the professional fishing world.
Right.
Well,
the best.
that was Fishgate. I've got, I guess it's called Penis Gate. Yeah.
Okay.
That's what we're talking about. And it's very sportsy, actually, Ben. We got the Winter Olympics starting up, and one of the flagship, pinnacle events is, of course, skiing, ski jumping, the downhill, any of the skiing events. and got a story here about Norway's ski jumping team might be up to some shady methods of how they are getting so successful as we get towards the Winter Olympics. So just want to read it right
because
here.
of their peni.
Yes.
How?
It's actually more of their suit, but it has to do with their jumpsuit around that region. So a video was posted anonymously of the Norwegian national team inserting illegal padding and stitching into the crotchal region of the suits of their 2-star jumpers who are like Olympic champions. And the suits had already been inspected and passed inspection. And there is a very detailed way of how they inspect these. And so by altering your suit after it was inspected, they are basically making the suits more aerodynamic, which would allow the jumpers to fly further than everybody else.
By enhancing that region.
Yes.
I can sort of see if you cut down on any unnecessary bumps in your suit, that would make you more aerodynamic. But how does padding that area make you fly further? You see what I'm saying here?
Gives you more confidence that you have a giant penis. That's my only guess.
Again, it's all aerodynamics here.
I'm not a master of physics by any stretch. I would think the tinier the penis, the more aerodynamic it would be. Like if
you don't want to have a lot of drag, obviously.
So the Nordic team, they got caught basically, and the athletes claimed ignorance. Their coaches said, "I don't know what you're talking about." It didn't really work. They were suspended. Now they all faced a 3-month suspension, which will allow them to still serve during the Summer Olympics. They are expected to serve or compete, I should say, in the Winter Olympics, which begin next month, I think, coming up here quickly. There's also more to this story.
It's a harsh punishment to keep a ski jumper out of the Summer Olympics.
Right.
Yeah, it is. You're going to take the summer off.
Not Summer Olympics, summer competitions.
The summer season.
Yeah.
It's always a big one for ski jumping.
Maybe not here, but in other places. There's more to the story, though. It says here, before the season, the ski jumpers are subjected to mandatory body scans, which determine the dimensions of their suits under all the guidelines of the International Ski and Snowboard Federation. The crotch measurement is taken from the lowest point of the athlete's junk.
Taint. Oh.
Yeah. And then it says here, the quote from somebody that was talking about all of it says, if you manage to move that point downward, you automatically get more surface area on the suit. And the added fabric provides aerodynamic advantages that can translate into longer jumps.
There's your physics explanation. The more slick suit, the better you do in ski jumping.
Now this is
like a big cod piece is what you're looking for.
So really, if you could find like a 380-pound guy who could also ski jump, that would be ideal because they'd have the most suit possible.
Yeah,
you'd be a great ski jumper, Ben, with what we saw in that picture.
Now it gets
somebody said they call this device the Lake Flaccid. I thought that was very good.
It's pretty good.
I mean, it's already
really
a weird
good
story, but it's about to get even weirder because that same guy that was talking about the aerodynamic advantages, he said he's claiming at least that some of the jumpers have allegedly used hyaluronic acid to temporarily enlarge the genital area before their scan.
Woods is very intrigued.
They do this before the scan, and by doing that, the way they do this is they inject the hyaluronic acid into something that you would wear, like a protective thing that you would wear around.
Condom?
Yeah, like a condom. They are filling the condoms with, or the condom-like packages with this hyaluronic acid.
Okay.
Worn inside of their suit. It enlarges them. They get the extra boost that they need. They pass their inspections. It's a ridiculous scandal in Olympic downhill ski jumping.
Woods wants to know if his insurance company needs to pre-approve him for hyaluronic
Pre-authorize.
acid.
I got a pre-authorization for it, whatever that is. But I'll just handle it myself. I wouldn't want to trouble the doctor's office or the insurance company. I'll just handle it, guys. Let me be the middleman for all of you.
Bro, just seeing the headline, Penisgate scandal rocks ski jumping world or whatever. I was
I
like,
love it.
all right, I'm in. I
Gator
gotta figure this
Padre,
out.
I think, nails it pretty well, and he says a condom filled with acid sounds like a no from me.
Yeah.
Oh, God. All right. Finally, let's wrap it up here. Get back to the entertainment world. The Oscars. We just had the Golden Globes a couple of weeks ago. The Oscars are coming up on March 15th. Conan O'Brien will be the host for the 98th Academy Awards. But the nominations all came out today. If you followed like the Golden Globes, for example, a lot of the same, the usual suspects here. Some of the highlights from the nominations, you got to start with Sinners from Ryan Coogler. It made Oscar history this morning. You got to see it, dude. You got it. It was really good.
It's vampires, though, isn't it?
Vampire adjacent,
Blah,
I would say.
blah, blah.
No. I thought it was phenomenal. It snagged 16 Oscar nominations.
16.
That passed, there was a three-way tie of 14 nominations for a film that was All About Eve, Titanic, and La La Land. But Sinners blew past that with 16 nominations. Paul Thomas Anderson, One Battle After Another, got 13 nominations. And then that followed with Marty Supreme, Frankenstein, and Sentimental Value with 9 nominations each. There were a bunch of first-time nominees, including Michael B. Jordan from Sinners. And then I guess kind of skipping through to like the big awards.
Yeah.
Actor in a leading role. You got Timothy Chalamet for Marty Supreme.
He was great.
Leo from One Battle After Another.
He was very good.
Wait,
even though I
you
didn't
saw
love that
Marty
movie.
Supreme, Ben?
I did over the holidays.
I do want to see that. Heard it was great.
Yeah, I enjoyed it.
What is it?
It's
the ping pong.
It's a ping pong.
Ping pong.
movie.
All right.
Ethan Hawke nominated for Blue Moon, Michael B. Jordan for Sinners, and Wagner Moura for The Secret Agent. Actress in a leading role, you have Jessie Buckley for Hamnet, Rose Byrne for If I Had Legs, I Would Kick You, Kate Hudson nominated
If
for...
I Had Legs, I Would Kick You is a movie that's been out.
Yeah, I haven't
Never heard of it.
I love Rose Byrne. She's very funny. I hadn't seen this movie yet. Kate Hudson was nominated for Song Sung Blue, and Renee... Oh, I don't know how to say her name. Renee
Zellweger?
Renzva for Sentimental Value, and then Emma Stone for Begonia. And the Best Picture nominees are that Begonia movie, F1, Frankenstein, Hamnet, Marty Supreme, One Battle After Another, Sentimental Value, Sinners, and Train Dreams. I have seen one of those movies nominated for Best Picture.
I
I've seen one as well.
I got
One
two because
Battle
I got
After
Marty
Another.
Supreme as well. None of us have seen F1.
Yeah.
No.
Felt like that came out like 4 years ago. I guess it was last year.
Begonia, I heard that's really good. I need to see that.
Yeah,
All right, I'll check
especially
that out.
considering it's starring a giant Padres fan.
Yes.
True.
And Emma Stone.
Stone.
All right, Paulie, thank you
she
for the
wins.
Oscar.
There's your Oscar noms.
Oscar update. All right, we'll come back. We're going to give away some tickets to see James Taylor at the Rady Shell and more. More Ben and Woods on the way on San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan. First, I get an opportunity, though, to tell you about SDFatLoss.com. It's the way I lost weight fast. Now, not as fast as the 13 pounds I lost in 3 days on my recent illness, but it was much more pleasant to lose up to a pound of fat per day by eating real foods, stuff that I like chicken and steak and vegetables, and not shakes and bars. I had done the other program before, ate a lot of bars, like 4 or 5 of them a day. Did not like them, was so ready to be done with it when it was over. And then when I lost the weight, as soon as I went back to real food, weight came back on, probably within 8 to 9 months, which was like, why did I put myself through all of that if you can't keep the weight off? But the SDFatLoss.com, it's a sustainable weight loss plan. I was never changing the food I was eating, so it was not a big deal to go, quote unquote, off the program. The maintenance phase is absolutely doable. And that's why I've kept this weight off 40 pounds for almost 3 years. Find out how the program can work for you with a free consultation at SDFatLoss.com. And if you sign up now, take advantage of the New Year's special extended due to popular demand, 20% off the program. And again, you're not buying anything from them in terms of shakes or bars. You're getting your own food like you normally would. You're just preparing it in the right ways and eating at the right times and in the right portions. No injections, no exercise necessary. Check it out today. It's sdfatloss.com. That's sdfatloss.com. Results may vary.
Hey, player, this is all yours. This room with this view. This speakeasy with this cocktail. Hey, could you make that too? The spa with this. Ah. And this pool on this roof. This is all for you. The all-new Hamul Casino Resort, now open.
From the Bill House Studios, we know how. Going to give away those James Taylor tickets here in just a couple of minutes, but it is Thursday. I know it doesn't seem like Thursday because of the weird week we've had, but Thursday.
We're so sorry.
Thursday does mean it is time to look ahead at the conference championships in this edition of our NFL threesome.
Can Ben and Woods interest you in a threesome?
A threesome would be fun.
No, not that kind of threesome.
Talk dirty to me.
We're talking end arounds, the best tight ends in the world, and going all the way in this game of inches.
2 inches short, maybe less. Story of my life.
It's the NFL threesome with Ben and Woods, brought to you by Hamul Casino Resort, the Players' Place, on 97.3 The Fan.
Personal foul, 69, offense. He was giving them the business.
All right, we'll take a look at both games, the AFC and NFC championships, then make our picks, which I think are going to be exceptionally difficult this time around. We will start with the first game on Sunday, Woods, the AFC championship in Denver. Patriots and Broncos at 12 noon here on 97.3 The Fan. And I hope that Jarrett Stidham comes in and plays a decent game, and we get an entertaining matchup, because after an entire season and such a great postseason, the last thing I want is for the Broncos backup quarterback to have a terrible game, throw 3 interceptions, and New England just to kind of cruise to an ugly road win over a team that lost their quarterback, unfortunately, on the last series of the divisional playoff round.
Man, you want to talk about a nightmare for Sean Payton, calling that play with Bo Nix where he ran the quarterback draw, where they said he got injured, and then, feeling so good, putting his arm around him. He goes, whoa, take it easy, coach. My ankle hurts. I mean, it's just so unfair. I mean, it's just so unfair. But unfortunately, Ben, I think the scenario you just described is exactly what's going to happen. I really do. I think New England's going to roll in this game.
I mentioned yesterday that New England did not have an easy time with the Houston Texans. Nope. They struggled against that Houston defense. The Denver defense is pretty much as good as the Houston defense. And guess what? I don't know that Jarrett Stidham can be any worse than C.J. Stroud was last week, which gives me at least.
God, he looked, man, C.J. Stroud. I mean, I didn't get a chance to comment on any of these games, but I've never seen a guy. And, I know it's like partly his personality, but he looked lost. He really did. There were times where I'm like, buddy, Bo makes that throw. Like, 10 out of 10 times. Like, we're talking a 3-yard out, and he spikes it into the ground. And, gun shy, throwing picks. And I went, man, this dude is just not there yet. And, I haven't seen – when's the last time Jarrett Stidham played a football game?
It's been at least a couple of years. Couple of
years.
Games. Yeah.
He's going to have, a week of practice with the first team? And
if the Houston Texans can hang with the Patriots on the road with that bad of quarterbacking – shouldn't the Broncos be able to do it at home with even a fairly low level of quarterbacking from Jarrett Stidham? I mean, that's my thinking.
I think, again, CJ Stroud, or like if you gave the Broncos the choice, hey, you can bring CJ Stroud in for the week if you want, like we're a soccer team.
Oh, of course. I think CJ Stroud's ceiling is much higher, but how he played last week was as bad as you can really imagine. And I don't think Jarrett Stidham could be much worse. So.
All right.
We'll see.
You say that.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm taking. I mean, the line's 4.5. I'd say that's. I would take. I'd take the Patriots.
I'll take the Broncos. I'll take the Broncos defense
and the 4.5
to keep it a low-scoring game. I mean, I could see it being a 17-13 game. Even if New England wins.
Under maybe the better play for you then, but I think that the Patriots cover 4.5.
Under and Denver.
But. Denver money line is plus 205. Good, not crazy.
Right.
I like the points. If I'm going to take Denver, I do like those points. Yeah. All right, second game, the NFC Championship or AFC NFC Championship at 3:30 on Fox and 97.3 The Fan. The third matchup this season between the Rams and the Seahawks. Home team won each time. It was close both times. The Rams won 21-19 at SoFi Stadium. Seahawks scored a late touchdown to get it a little closer. And then remember the rematch late in the season when the Rams had that one, and then Seattle pulled it out. It was one of the great games of the regular season. It's the reason why Seattle is hosting this game rather than playing in Los Angeles, helped them earn that top seed. Will that be the difference in this game at Lumen Field, that Seattle has that 12th man home field advantage over the Rams for the championship?
Yeah, I watched. I was so impressed with Seattle. My God, the way that they played and just decimated the 49ers. The 49ers looked like they were playing a different sport altogether. Watching that game turned me into a believer for the Seattle Seahawks, Benny. I'm taking them minus the 2.5 points. I thought the Rams played a really great game in some really gnarly conditions as well and overcame a lot to win that game. But I think I'm going to roll with, and again, it goes against, my favorite narrative is that a USC quarterback has never won the Super Bowl, and Sam Darnold may have the shot. Now, out of all the great quarterbacks to come out of there, the fact that it would be him would be shocking, but he will have earned it, certainly. So I think Seattle takes this one.
I was texting with a buddy up in Seattle yesterday, and he's kind of lost a little bit of his fervor for Seahawks football. I mean, he goes, I don't really feel anything if they lose. I feel a little something when they win. Obviously, I'm rooting for them. And I go, it's weird. I just watch Red Zone all year, and they would show the Seahawks along with every other team. And I go, yeah, they're good. They just kept winning.
They're so good.
But they didn't feel like they stood out above everybody else. And here they are with the number 1 seed hosting the NFC title game. And he goes, yeah, they're just solid, man. They're just very solid. And obviously Sam Darnold's the wild card. If he didn't have a good year, they probably aren't as good. But he goes, they're just solid. And I'm like, yeah, they don't really have any star power either. Sam Darnold's the biggest name on the team. They lost DK Metcalf.
Smith Najigba is fantastic. He is fantastic. So, he is a star. Jackson Smith Najigba is incredible to watch. And he is a bona fide star and can do a lot.
So they lost a running back too, though, right? Is it Chardonnay, whatever his name is?
Charbonnet. Yeah.
Out for the year, I think.
But I think their defense is so good, man. So good. I'm taking the Seahawks. I'm not looking back.
This one's tough because I think all season the Rams were the best team overall.
Yeah.
But it's so hard to win 3 straight road playoff games, tough environments, cold last week in Chicago, and then bounce back and now try to do it in Seattle. Quarterbacking, I'd certainly rather have Matthew Stafford than Sam Darnold in this game. But I kind of agree with you, Woods. I think it's just too much. I think Seattle being at home, they're going to find a way to win this game. So I will also take the Seahawks, especially at 2.5. If it was 3.5, I might be a little more hesitant. I might be inclined to take the Rams and the points, but at 2.5, under that field goal number, I will also take the Seahawks in the NFC Championship.
There we go. Threesome is done.
All right, before we go, let's give away some tickets to James Taylor. You have any thoughts on James Taylor?
Most surprising heroin addict in the history of heroin addicts.
Thought that might be your take.
That's my thought. When I found out that news, I went, "Excuse me." I know the 70s were a wild time, but that guy, I was like, he was big into heroin. I go, man. It's why it always blew my mind.
Yep. Cautionary tale. They use heroin.
Cautionary tale.
You could still be performing to sold out shows at age 77.
He's I've never, I'm sure you're a James Taylor fan.
I do like a little easy listening, Fire and Rain.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's okay. It's okay. I don't
not like him for sure.
I don't not like it. Yeah. I don't not like it.
I don't ever seek it out, but if it comes
I never listen to it.
Yeah.
I never listen to it. But that whole weird soft rock genre just kind of missed me mostly. So
I see people already calling in, but if you'd like to win some tickets, we've got them available. It's a great venue, Rady Shell, coming up on April 28th. We've got a pair of tickets for you right now. Fourth caller at 833-288-0973 wins a pair of tickets to James Taylor. You can get your own tickets at Ticketmaster.com. Good luck to the tier ones out there. We will come back. We've got some breaking SDFC news when we return on San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. GEGE 0000466. For a full list of games and rules, play at 7 Mile Casino. Visit 7milecasino.com.
Before the breaking news, though, we got the weekend coming up. If you're looking for something to do, make a plan to head down to 7 Mile Casino. First of all, on the weekends, they've got that great weekend brunch at Sammy's at 7 Mile. It's the best in the South County. Only available Saturdays and Sundays from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. And then while you're there enjoying brunch, check out the tables, Woods.
You got to check out the tables, Benny, because that's where you can play California-style blackjack, Texas Hold'em, Pai Gow, and Baccarat. California-style blackjack, definitely the game I feel most comfortable playing in there. Right when you walk in the door, walk right into the California-style blackjack table to take care of the high-limit players there as well. It's just a great place to go. It's really comfortable. It's the least seedy card room you'll ever see, ever. Smoke-free environment, no slot machines. It's got everything you're looking for. And best part, just 7 minutes from downtown.
Yeah, it's not seedy, S-E-E-D-Y, but it is seedy, S-E-A-T-Y, with a lot of comfortable seats.
Plenty of seats.
Where you can sit down and enjoy your favorite card games or sit down on the great patio that overlooks San Diego Bay with a beautiful view of Coronado, the Silver Strand on a nice day. One of my favorite spots is just to enjoy it out there. Many reasons to visit. Check it out today, 7 Mile Casino, just 7 minutes from downtown.
He just here. I'll show you a little. Just a little.
Please don't.
Just a little bit. What hurts on you?
Nothing at all.
A little bit.
Nothing. Now,
So let's say
whatever you're about to touch is the only thing.
Let's say
It's gonna hurt.
Right?
All right, yeah.
Okay.
Pretend your knee hurts.
Pretend your knee.
It's going to in a second.
Right here.
Oh, that is not pleasant.
Hey, player, this is all yours. This room with this view. This speakeasy with this cocktail. Hey, could you make that too? The spa with this. Ah. And this pool on this roof. This is all for you. The all-new Hamul Casino Resort, now open.
Little breaking news, as I mentioned, from SDFC this morning. The team just announced that they have signed defender Luca Bombino to a contract extension guaranteed through the 2028-2029 season with a club option for the 2029-2030 season. The young Luca Bombino, to me, one of the more impressive prospects and contributors on that roster last year. A couple times that I had a chance to talk to him, just wowed me with his poise. Nowhere near what you'd expect a 19-year-old to be like. The guy knows what he's doing, knows where he's going in life, and I think SDFC was very wise to lock him up for an extended future with the team.
Hell yeah. Love that kid. Excited, man. Season's right around the corner, dude. Right around the corner.
I think 12 days until their first game now.
What?
Crazy.
12 days.
Insane.
Yeah.
Wow.
Crazy.
It goes fast. Speaking of going fast, 2027 is going to be here before you know it. I know we just started 2026. And with that in mind, we have a fairly early deadline for something that you need to know about. And we'll talk about that after a check of traffic on 97.3 The Fan.
From the 855 Get Ross Traffic Center, protecting San Diego after accidents or injury, here's Kelly Danick.
The roads are clearing out very nicely all around. No incidents, no accidents, no surprises. Looks like your westbound King Freeway crash has cleared from 30th Street off-ramp. I'm Kelly Danick with Ben and Woods, San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan.
So it was just a week ago that you guys were, a little exhausted from your long journey to fantasy camp.
We get home at like 9 p.m. on Wednesday night and then back here that Thursday morning.
Woods, your second place finish to Major Garrett, Mudd, and Lowe in the championship game at fantasy camp. And now I know you're already excited for 2027, and I know a lot of people are. The Padres wanted us to make everybody aware that this morning at 10 a.m., so in 15 minutes, they're opening up spots for 2027 fantasy camp for people who want to make their deposit and sign up. Obviously, the biggest camp ever this last week with 101 campers, 5 female campers. I mean, it was amazing out there. We've done it many years. I think it was the best one ever. You guys kind of agree?
It was. It was.
100%.
I think it was the best one ever. They got the dates, guys.
Yeah,
it's
so
January
it'll be
8th
January
through the 13th.
Yep. 2027.
Then,
so we're talking a year away, but if you want to get in, you're probably going to have to get in today, maybe right at 10 o'clock, because I know the spots have been going fast in recent years.
Yeah, registration will go live again 10 a.m. this morning. You can reserve your spot with a deposit. All net proceeds benefit the Padres Foundation. Registration is open to men and women ages 25 and up. So you got to go to padres.com/fantasycamp for more information and the link to register. Again, you got 14 minutes left. If this has been a fantasy of yours, you've heard us talking about it. I mean, I just tell you, it's the best money you'll ever spend. If you can spend it, it's the best money you'll ever spend.
Yeah, 101
it really
campers.
Is the best.
101 campers. That was a record this last year, and I don't know exactly the numbers, but I do know it's a very high retention rate. So there's there's not a lot of extra spots available. Assuming most of the 101 that went this year are probably coming back next year. So there's only a handful of spots, but you can't do wrong at fantasy camp. It is
and
the best.
Just because everybody, I'm
so
sure, is
fun.
kind of asking in their head, Padres do have the price. The full price of the camp is $6,970. Some of that is tax deductible. I've been told, and the deposit. So what would be due today if you sign up is $1,970. So I know that's not for everybody, but yeah.
If you've been squirreling it away, get in there at 10 o'clock, padres.com/fantasycamp for more information. Again, you will not regret it. You will just have the time of your life.
The Padres Foundation does a lot of really good work around the community, and this is one of their biggest fundraisers, essentially, of the year. It's like along with like Dinner on the Diamond, and which is a little bit more pricey than fantasy camp, but like those are two of their biggest events of the year that fund the Padres Foundation and allow them to do what they do.
Yeah, and no offense to any of the players, but if I'm going to spend $10,000 for a table to sit and have dinner with Jackson Merrill, or $7,000 for a week of fantasy camp, I think fantasy camp's the way to go.
Yeah, it's definitely. If Dinner on the Diamond lasted a week, then maybe we could have a conversation.
Yeah,
but no, this is. This is different. This is different. I'm so excited. So excited for it. I already got it on the calendar for next year. And, I'd like to win a championship. I had a really fun camp and a great camp. And but I can't imagine. I can't imagine not going. So hopefully hope to see some new faces out there. All the new faces this year were just so enamored with it. So such a great time.
I've been looking around. We got a couple of minutes here. We started early in the show and talked about the controversial SDSU loss last night to Grand Canyon. And I was thinking of revisiting the foul call that went against Tay Simmons, because I only saw it live and the one quick replay they showed on FS1. I can't even find like a replay online. Usually It's very easy to find. Like when the Mountain West posted the highlights of the game, they just skipped over it entirely. They went right from Aztecs have a 1-point lead to shooting the second free throw for GCU and Williams and game over. It's like, I think you guys are leaving out a pretty important part of the story of this game, which is kind of telling. If the conference is just too embarrassed to even show the play, makes me think they realized it wasn't the kind of call that they really want their officials to make in that situation. Maybe I'm reading too much into it, but when I saw that and I go, you're not going to even show the most important play of the game in your entire 5-minute highlight package of the entire game. You're just going to skip over that.
They know they got it wrong.
Because you clearly know you got it wrong last night.
Yeah.
I think you might be reading a little bit too much into it, but I'm running with that with you.
Are you saying, we don't show fouls?
It fits our narrative.
Well, you do if they make the basket and won. So why wouldn't you show the most important foul of the entire game? Probably one of the most important calls of the season in the Mountain West. Let people make their own decision. You know what? Tay Simmons probably did touch Williams as he was going up in a certain extent. Was there any chance that Williams was going to make that basket with Miles Bird standing there to block it in perfect position? There was no chance he was going to make that basket. So you are rewarding him 2 free throws. To me, a foul is when you are clearly impeding a guy who has a good chance to make a basket and you stop him by hitting him in a way that impacts the play. That did not impact the play at all. If there was contact, it was not going to change the outcome of the play. He wasn't going to make some incredible play otherwise that was going to evade the coverage that they had in Miles Bird. To me, that's why it's obviously a wrong call that an official should not make in a situation like that if you're trying to fairly adjudicate a basketball game.
It's not going to happen. They're not going to reverse the call. It's going to go down as a pretty tough loss for the Aztecs, and just kind of solidifies that they're going to have to do. They're going to have their work cut out for them, Benny, to win the Mountain West tournament. It's just going to be such a battle to the end. Does it give you? Is there like pressure off? I mean, yeah, you got to win your Mountain West game. You got to win your division games, but the at-large, is it just kind of floating off into the distance?
Again, I never expected them to go 20-0, so I can't say that, if they go 18-2 and win the Mountain West going away by 3 or 4 games, I think they could still get an at-large. They could get an at-large bid. But they're probably going to lose again. You're just making
for GCU now.
You're making it even tougher to make that run going forward, just because every loss is going to be another knock. They dropped to 52 in the net rankings this morning, so a little further off the bubble than they were yesterday. Now, if they win 3 or 4 in a row more, they'll be right back into kind of at-large consideration again.
And don't you think, too, if they can do kind of what you said, like you said, you didn't expect them to win the go 20-0 in the Mountain West or whatever. But if they have a really good conference record at the end, they get into they'll be in the Mountain West tournament, and they're fighting for an at-large. Isn't this where pedigree helps?
Yeah, that definitely doesn't hurt. Helped them last year, get them in, as a bubble team. The Final Four, and so it could help him again. I think for me, the issue though is like Baylor right now is a bubble team, like one of the first 4 out, and you lost Baylor. So if it comes down at the end, and they're comparing you to another team that you lost to, it's going to be really hard to put San Diego State as an at-large team without a real signature victory non-conference, because that Oregon win. Not doing much for anybody right now. Oregon's struggling at the bottom of the Big Ten, so you just don't have that big win that you were looking for in non-conference play, which means you have to be overwhelmingly good in conference play. Now, 19-1, 18-2 is still overwhelmingly good, but if that's we
got him worked up. He's worked up.
4
right
losses,
now, he's worked up.
Then you're probably looking for an automatic bid, and that's all. So that's like one of 2 or 3 that you can survive this season.
Take a deep breath. Now you got to go down and watch them load the moving trucks.
That should be fairly relaxing. I don't have to actually do any of the loading.
Say hi to Darnay and Jake and everybody else. Give them our love. And see you guys back here tomorrow at 6 a.m.
Sights and sounds of spring, baby. Looking forward to it.
That's right.
All right, that's all for us. We will be back tomorrow for the Friday edition of Ben and Woods at 6 a.m. For Paul Reinl and Stephen Woods, I'm Ben Higgins. Have a great rest of your Thursday from all of us here at San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan. So long, everybody.